Boom. What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with my man LS McLean, coming to you live from the grocery store.
Bro, we leaving the gas station, man.
Leaving
Take you along for the ride. I got booted out of my spot, so I got to go. I mean, I was already heading to the gym anyway, and we were going to do the podcast from the gym. So
I mean, we're just gonna have to go with you to the gym.
That's what's up, man. I mean, that's what it's about at the end of the day.
There it is.
Adapting and overcoming.
Since we were briefly on the topic, I wanted to know, what did you think about this football season, and are you going for the Patriots or the Eagles?
First of all, as a Cowboys fan, I have to go for the Patriots.
There you go. All right.
I mean, I have no choice, but you know what I mean. The only thing about the Eagles that I've ever really liked was Randall Cunningham and Brian Dawkins. That was it. So I'm not necessarily allowed to like him anywhere past that. Honestly, they're. I mean, I'm. I got a lot of love for Philly, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It stops at Meek Mill and that's it. So,
oh man,
that's the truth.
Hey man, for me, everybody hates Tom Brady. That's the way I see it, and everybody comes at me, when they're down because they quite a few games they start off behind a little bit. So everybody comes at me, and then I'm just like I don't say anything, and then once they come back and win, I'm just like, what up?
But I didn't know you were a TB12 fan though. I had no idea.
Dude, since 2000. You remember 2008? So 2008, they had an undefeated season. This is when I was 18 years old.
Right.
When I was 12 or 13, I think it was 2012. Their first Super Bowl win. I remember my mom watching football, and I was 12 years old, and I was like, who is this Tom Brady? Who is this Tom Brady? Right. So ever since then, I've just been like, that's really the only team that I really knew of, and the only player that I really followed. And then, fucking they had that undefeated season, and then the Giants smashed on them, and that's when I had respect. I started to look at the Giants, and I was like, okay, that's mad respect. They were literally 15-0.
Yeah,
they're literally 15-0, which was crazy. And then they fucking got trucked by Brandon Jacobs.
It's crazy because. Dude, Brandon Jacobs was such a big running back, dude.
And he was so unorthodox, but he
really was.
But he
was like short torso, all legs, and just big. I'm like,
what's crazy is these days, a lot of coaches, they'll size you up, right? They'll look at you and be like, oh, you can't do that. You're gonna be this position. You're gonna be that position. But he probably walked on the field and was like, nah, I'm a running back.
Yeah, pretty much. And the thing was there was a couple running backs like that before him. But it was just weird, man, because I honestly hadn't seen a back actually get that much PT that big since Eddie George, to be 100. Eddie George was a 6'3" plus running back, and then Jacobs came out of and not necessarily out of nowhere, but
if you watch his come up, they knew he was gonna be a force, but it's just it's very rare these days for somebody of those stats to play a position like that. You know what I mean? How many 6'5" running backs do you know in the league?
Don't know a lot.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is if you're that big now, they're gonna make you a tight end or some sort.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or they just use athleticism and put you on the edge and just make you a rushing end. You know what I mean? So it's just a dude that big, and he wasn't necessarily really. The thing was, and I'm not hating on Jacobs because I think he was a outstanding athlete.
You can't really hate on him.
But as big as he was, I mean, it's not like he had moves. He was a north and south runner. Anytime he tried to shake,
ISOs moving up the side, he's just gonna run straight.
That was it. That's all you're gonna get. So it's not like you can really make him do anything else. It's not like he had sweet feet to be a tight end, and it's not like what I'm saying. He had the wiggle to be a defensive end. He was a running back. He was north and south. He was just an overgrown running back. Do
you remember? Reggie Bush, obviously.
Yeah.
I felt like once he got into the league, they used him, but very sparingly. So by you saying that, because he's the opposite. He's got I feel like he can move.
All the moves.
but they didn't really use them like that. I realized like a lot of these players, depending on what organization they're at or what kind of system they're running, they can either thrive or they don't really use them how maybe they did in college or whatever.
Here's my thing, and this is I'm not even a hater on the program. I just feel like if you come from USC, if you come out of college from USC, you're gonna take an L immediately when you come to the league.
Why is that?
Bro, you can go through time and time again, and let's be 100. I mean, unless you're like an interior or the occasional, like, I guess I would say like defensive back and the occasional like linebacker, especially people that come out of USC, they take L's. Reggie Bush took an L, big time L when he came to the league. Lindell White did okay for a little bit, then he took L's. Freaking Mark Sanchez, L. Carson Palmer, he took L's early, and then toward toward this, I guess, the twilight portion of his career, he started getting some dubs. But like before that, I mean, he came in, he was hyped, but like people just really didn't rock with him. Mac Barkley was supposed to be the truth coming out of college.
Man,
I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like every specialty person that came out of USC was just taking L's. I mean, cause the system was so. I mean, they come out of a pretty dope system. It was just once you got to the league, it was just kind of like
good. Everybody's fucking
everyone's good.
It's another level, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're just another player.
And you might be able to relate to this, but did you know anybody that you played with coming up that they didn't make it and they were like a freak? You were probably one of those guys. You're probably one of those guys. Like you have.
Bro, I made it as far as practice squad, bro. That's it. The biggest freak that I played with, he was a defensive guy, man. He was Tongan.
Big dude.
He was a Tongan dude, and he was a nose, bro. And this dude was like 6'2", about 330. This fool could run. I'm telling you, he can run a sub 540. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Dude, that's like pretty common now. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not common, but it's like more people could do it.
More people can do it, but not.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, now
you can't be that big moving like that.
Super interior like Tongan / Samoans, bro. You never see them moving like just moving like that. But this dude was such a freak, and he went out 2 years before I did, and I just remember he left, and he just went to to the Cowboys. He went to their training camp, bro. He came back on a break just bruised up, like, man, they're killing me, man. I'm like, what? And the thing is, I literally saw this dude. I saw him pick up I literally saw him pick up a grown man, a tackle, like by his pads off the ground. This dude had a good, I want to say 30 pounds on him. Pick this dude up, decleat him, set him on his back, take one arm and like legitimately close line a running back. Like in a matter of like half a second. I saw him do it more times than I care to admit. And to see him go to the league and just get murdered. And like he was there for, I want to say maybe a month. Maybe he made it through training camp for like a month. I don't think
people understand, man. The NFL, like when you watch the game, you might not be able to tell, but like when you're like in the front row or you're like in the trenches on the sideline, these motherfuckers are not human.
They are not small, bro. And this is the crazy thing, man. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some G's out there. There's some people out there that move weight, dude. Like, no question. That just are just. They're unreal athletes. They're unreal freaking just players and all of the above. But dude, when I tell you that when you go and you actually see these people, you're like, yo, this makes absolutely no sense. It's too loud in here. We're gonna go back outside. But like it almost makes no sense on how athletic these people are. Like I mean I saw it time after time after time. But the part that cracks me up is, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it because you've been around the game enough. You see these pros, and you see these cats like Brandon Jacobs. He's one of those like, all right, this dude, he's for real this big. But then you see these other cats like I stood side by side with Barry Sanders, and they always had Barry Sanders listed as like 5'8", 5'9", whatever. I'm like, wait, Barry Sanders is not that tall. Like,
it's always like Smith that. They exaggerate
the
stats. Yeah.
They exaggerate those stats big time, but then you send it next to like an Eddie George. Oh, that dude is for real. He's all 6'3", 6'4". So I'm like, you see all of these different, these different athletes, and I start noticing the more millions they have in their pocket, the more inches they give them. You know what I'm saying, in the program. But like it's like that was probably one of the biggest eye-opening things that I ever saw. Like when I actually got there, and I got to see, like, you get to see Primetime walking around, you get to see Emmitt Smith walking around, you get to see Troy Aikman walking around, you get to see all these Cowboy legends, all these guys walking around. Like, these dudes are not small, but then the dudes that they say are big, they're not necessarily big, but then it makes you respect their game that much more.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, a couple years ago, I went to it was the season opener, Ravens against Chargers, and I was like pretty close up there, and I got like Ray Lewis was a thick dude.
Yeah, man.
Like, this motherfucker, he like jail ready.
Yeah, bro. You see these dudes, and you're like, bro, how are these? What does this guy have that this guy doesn't? I've seen countless guys that are just as big as Ray Lewis.
X factor, man. It's just
bro, but then
he's got this too. He's got this too.
Yeah,
which is a big
like
part
they have
of
the IQ. People sleep on these NFL guys, and this is my thing. Because NFL, I mean, it has its brutish points, but the average person, I can't even say has been blessed. I'd say the average person has not had the opportunity to see what the NFL playbook looks like. I've seen countless NFL playbooks. And I can't even say playbooks, I can say pages. And to have a football IQ on top of memorizing every single one of those pages, in addition to like the additions that they make every single week, it's beyond me. It's honestly, man, it looks like a freaking dictionary.
Dude, my D coordinator from community college, and I knew when he came in, I knew this guy wasn't going to be here long. Coach Phillips, he actually he coaches at Berkeley. I don't know if he's still there, but he went to be the D coordinator for Berkeley. He played for the Cowboys. Actually, now that I remember, he was a running back and a DB. I don't know. I'm gonna white dude. This guy, when he gave us a book this big, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, and I was a linebacker, so it's like I gotta know everything. I gotta know what everybody's doing.
You have to know everything. Yeah,
it's hard, man. It's a lot of shit. So. All that on top of school, it's fucking rough. So props to the college kids, man.
So I laugh at people that are like, oh, well, it's just the NFL. Like, dude, this is these cats' jobs. So when you see guys like Ray Lewis and guys that have been in the league, it's countless guys. Ed Reed, guys that have been in the league for 15, 16 years. Even what's old boy's name? James Harrison.
Dude, I love him. I'm so homo.
I mean,
no homo. His story. Dude, if you listen
his story is ridiculous.
It's amazing. He was on the practice squad for like how many years? Like 8 years, 6 years, something like that?
6 to 8 years, something like that. Dude, and then
finally
then
gets
he got
in.
A streak on. Yeah, it's just finally, like you get your break and then you go in. Like and then of course,
how many years I don't even Steelers? How many years?
Yeah, he's the Steelers and now he's with the Pats.
Then when he gets older, they're like, oh, I don't know, man. Did you see his story? He was like, they kept telling me I was going to get reps. I told them I was ready to go. They didn't give me the reps, so I'm not being a traitor or nothing. I just went to where I knew I could play.
I just want to go out.
And he's doing good on the Patriots. He's actually fucking making plays. He's
and then he's gonna end up getting another Super Bowl ring, which is hilarious.
Man. I can't.
I'm like, my thing
I'm
is
getting chills, man.
My thing is that guys like that, guys like Brady, when you look at this book and you look at the specialty that these guys, that's their job. If you were to actually look at an NFL playbook, it's as thick as an HR book as you would get at a Fortune 500 company. And these guys have to memorize it. But then people they make it seem so minuscule and menial because it's physically based.
Yeah,
but dude, it's their job.
It's not.
And I promise you, there's not a person out there that, I mean, and again, there's a few out there, but there's not many super athletic Fortune 500 CEOs that can go give them a playbook as thick as a freaking dictionary. Like, I need you to memorize all these plays. Oh, by the way, I'm going to send a 300-pound lineman running dead straight at you, and I need you to think of exactly what you're going to do and exactly what everybody on the field is going to.
And don't flinch.
Nah, bro. So, and
my thing is like, so you're asking these people to be able to balance a combination of insane athleticism, be as quick-witted as possible, and in some form or fashion be able to follow their pure instinct and make a play. I'm like, bro, I
appreciate the shit
because
so
I've been
much.
on that side of the. I've been on that side. Maybe because we've been on that side. I side on the side of the athlete. But I'm like, I'm asking you to do that year in, year out for 15, 20 years, and somehow, I don't know how, come out without, you know, a concussion disorder of some sort. Like it's asinine for people to just assume that these are just dumb athletes.
They're
you know
not.
what I mean?
And
you know. And even with the using of the Wonderlick and all that, like, oh, that's gonna like it. That only goes so far in terms of like the scratching of the surface. I mean, it can tell you so much, but at the end of the day, if a player's a player, they're just gonna ball out. It doesn't matter. And you get these guys that were the best of the best, you know, when they were, you know, in middle school and grade school and high school. You send them to college, and then they sun everybody in college. They're the best of the best then, and they somehow, you know, I mean, you can cite Jerry Rice's, you can cite your Randy Moss's, you can, you know, your, you know, freaking Brian Urlachers and all these guys. They just sun everybody in college.
Brian Urlacher was the shit, man.
Yo, man, like they sun all these people, and then somehow they are the cream of the crop, and then you send them to the pros, and they go to the pros, and then they struggle. Like, you know, they ball out.
Oh yeah, some do, and then some. You have Tim Tebow,
and some fizzle out. Like, you know, the cool thing about the league, man. The thing I'll tell people about the league, those that have experienced it, those that have gone to a combine, those that have been pro ranked. I mean, and Blaine Sumner, he can attest to this. When you get to the level of being considered a prorated athlete, and you get a few looks here and there, you realize like, all right, I'm good, but there's somebody that's just as good. You know, I'm fast, but there's somebody just as fast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right now in powerlifting, we have there's one Ray Williams. There's a couple, you know, I mean, internationally, maybe there's someone who could fight with them, but imagine in the NFL, there's like 10 Ray Williams. You know what I mean? Like imagine if powerlifting ever got to that scale.
Here's a crazy thing, and you know, oh man, I love Ray to death, and Ray will even agree. We've talked about it. If you go to almost every team, you go to the league, almost every team has at least 3 Ray Williams. They have one on offense, they have one on defense, and they have one that are probably on the practice squad that, you know, just doesn't get it yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, they might not have the squat that Ray does, but they just have that raw animalistic strength that Ray does. You know what I'm saying? Like every team has a.
Didn't he play? What did he do as far as football? I know he
was at I think he went to UT Martin, to Tennessee Martin. He balled out at Tennessee Martin.
He didn't want to go anywhere after that, or I mean, it's hard.
Man, look, Ray is one of those cats, man. Just from what I gather, he's a very cerebral guy, man. And just not only is he just a super athletic, super powerful person, but man, dude, that guy is sharp, dude. He is sharp. He's a lot sharper.
He's
than
very majestic when he speaks.
Yeah,
but you could tell that there's thought behind what he's
saying.
Oh
man, dude, everything Ray legit. I mean, when you talk to him, you can tell he's thought about what he's about to say at least 4 or 5 times before it comes out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, dang, man, like everything he says is just like, yeah, all right, I get that. You know what I mean? You know, you run into those people like, bad. Bad. Because you don't really have a response. Like, yeah, you know, like
you don't really have to say. You don't really have to say. They just get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Ray's one of those guys where you just like, you know, you're right. Like I just, you know, he's one of those that I'm glad that at least in this stage of my career, I was able to kind of get to know him a lot better than I would have if I was, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know that there's like tiers of it all, but I feel like, you know, there's an outside tier of people that, you know, that don't necessarily do what we do. That, you know, and I can't say they're in the inner circle, whatever, but they're just not in, you know, they don't lift or coach at this level yet. And so they're kind of outside looking in. And then there's, you know, I guess I could say just people like us, and we're kind of in it. You know what I'm saying? So we see each other quite often throughout the year.
Duffel bag boys.
Yeah, we have a group chat
that's called Duffel Bag Boys.
Everybody trying to secure the bag. But then, like, you know, so I've been able to get to, you know, kind of get to know Ray a little bit better, man. And that's one of the things that impressed me the most. I mean, I never thought of him as a dumb athlete at all. Like, I've always, just from my own personal experience, the defensive linemen, offensive linemen, they were always the smarter people on the team, always. And then you had the quarterback.
But see, linemen and guys, we are transitioning into powerlifting, obviously. So if you don't like football, sorry, but I hope you enjoy.
It'll work its way. It'll work its way.
But,
it's gonna work its way.
But a lot of like big men, people, they see the receivers making the touchdowns and the quarterback and the linebackers making plays, but they don't really see all the work, you know, that those big boys are putting in up front, because without them, there's nothing.
They don't see the front recognition. Nothing. They don't see the check down. They don't see the split call. They don't see any of that stuff. You know what I mean? They don't see the defensive recognition, nor do they see on the other side the defensive offensive recognition, the play recognition, the formation recognition. You know what I mean? They can tell if they're gonna pull or not. Like there's like little things that people don't notice. All they just see that 2D. They just see like, all right, cool. I just watch them on TV, and these big boys just moving a lot of weight, moving a lot of people around. Not realize like, man, those dudes, they're in studying film over and over and over.
Alrighty. So we'll use this as a segue to kind of talk about how I want to ask you how you got into powerlifting specifically. But real quickly, I think I've told you the story before. A couple years ago, like it had to have been 5 years ago, maybe. I was a personal trainer at a commercial gym. Like 5-6 years ago, and there was a guy there who asked me like, hey, what do you do, you know, outside of this? And I was like, oh, you know, I do powerlifting, whatever. And he was like, oh man, like you probably know my buddy LS. And I didn't know who you were at the time. And I remember seeing you, like he showed me a picture of you. I think it was at your first Worlds. And it's just so crazy because like I met a guy who mentioned your name, and I met right, and I didn't know who you were. And then I did nothing but just pursue the sport like I would have. And then we run into each other, and it's like, it was just crazy. So LS was like known by random ass people.
That's funny, man.
A couple years ago. But how'd you get into powerlifting, like specifically like powerlifting?
Well, I trained. I'd done a couple meets in high school. Didn't really like it. But I'm in Texas. You you have to do it. You have no choice, especially if you're trying to get stronger. And our defensive coordinator at the time, I just loved the man. I love the old man. He's just one of my favorite people. So wherever he said to do, I'd do it. And it was getting me stronger, so cool. So I did that. Got to college. Obviously, I had to train because of, you know, I hated weights, by the way. But because of football, track, I had to. So, you know, it is what it is. So fast forward to, you know, graduating and you know, once I started pursuing my master's, like, you know what? I just want to get bigger. I just wanted muscles. I wanted to look like Schwarzenegger. I wanted to look like these cats that, you know, I wanted to get swole, you know? And so I was like, I'm going to get my bro on real quick. So I just started working out. Well, all I'd ever known, like a lot of Texas kids, is you put weight on. Once it gets easy, you put more on.
There you go.
So I started doing that, and the weights kept going up and up and up. So I was like, well, I'm gonna try to find like something, you know. At the time, like I had every muscle and fitness magazine known to man. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna go through muscle and fitness, see what they have here. And I'm pretty sure it was like a Michael Hearn, some power building, you know, hybrid thing.
Yeah.
I started doing that. Kind of started working my way up. And at one point, they were doing the what is it? It was when they did that the first Raw Worlds, like 2012, 2013 is the one they did in Sweden. It wasn't official, but it was just kind of like their test. And at the time, mind you, I didn't know about depth. I didn't know about any of that stuff. But at the time, like my numbers were like comparable to the guy that won. I'm like, that's what's up.
I can do that.
The gym owner pointed it out to me. Goes, you know, you could do this because the gym that I was training.
Do you remember who it was?
Do
you remember who it was? Do you remember who the guy was?
It was Christoph.
Back then, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Christoph, and so I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. So he's like, you should do this. Like, I'm good, and I left it alone. So they had talked to me about doing it a few months before, and they kept trying, and finally they kind of broke me down. And this is over like a period of probably like I want to say anywhere from 9 to like 13 months. I was like, nah, I'm good, I'm Gucci. Next thing I know, man, I kind of get cornered by these two guys that were on the gym powerlifting team. Like, hey, man, you're gonna lift. I'm like, all right, shit. I guess I'm gonna do it. So you know,
did you have to do nationals to do that one?
Yeah, I did a little local meet, qualify for nationals. The first time I did the meet, like I set pretty much all the state records. Was
there IG back then?
Huh?
Was there Instagram?
Yeah, I think there was. Here's the thing, bro. Like I had, we were talking about this yesterday. I had an IG, and I had mad followers, but it was a tennis shoe IG. It was just a sneakerhead IG.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like in 13 and like anywhere from like 2012 to 2014, like people were flexing heavy. You know, because that's when they really started dropping mad retros. So. I remember I was flexing hard, dude. I was flexing hard, and you know, like, you know, back in the day, I could say back in the day, 2012, 2013,
6
back
years
when like
ago,
everybody
could be
back when everybody in fitness was like, you know, we're like, you know, like your Christian Guzman and all those guys, you know, when they were like hitting, you know, bumping IG, you know, like they were getting hella followers, but it was on the fitness tip. So like, you know, they were building up their people. I always thought I was just gonna be this dude, this strong cat. This is no joke. I was just the thing that I did was I was a strong guy that benched in J's, that squatted in J's, that skateboarded in J's, but I didn't scuff up my kicks. So I would always like take a shot of my kicks or whatever. But I was dumb with it, dude. Like, and so I got thrown in Insta jail, bro. And they they disabled my account. And like, you know, you gotta think 2012 and 2014. I had a little over 300K. If you had over 300K, that's like having 3 million now.
That's
you know
a lot back then. That was a lot.
I had so many.
For just your shoes.
Just shoes. Bro, you would never see my face. But I was out there wilding. I'll be the first to admit, I was out there wilding. Like, I was doing some pretty questionable stuff, especially like today's Instagram standards. I mean, I would have been fine. But back in the day,
you just roast yourself.
I was on some other shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, anyways, I got locked up, thrown in Instagram jail. So I didn't post IG. I didn't really follow anybody. I just kind of did my thing. I had a couple IGs, but it wasn't anything big to me. So I won this meet, qualified for nationals, went to nationals, won nationals. I went for like, I think I was like 4 for 9. But it was just enough to win, to win. And so we, you know, I basically got, you know, like I said, I kind of got strong-armed into doing it, into like powerlifting. But then as a result, man, it literally changed my life. So like it's been kind of weird. Not gonna lie to you.
I agree, man. Like when I started doing this, like when I remember like fucking, what was it, 5-6 years ago when I started, the first time I ever posted anything about like coaching, there was no TSA, there was no nothing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. All I knew about was Mike T,
and
I knew Lane Norton, and I knew 3DMJ, so I knew Berto, and that was like it. I didn't know none of that. I knew who Bryce was because of Matt Ogus, but I didn't know like I didn't know none of this shit, right? So I didn't know any of those people. So like a lot of people, when they say, Joey, like, you know, how'd you get established or whatever, it's like you started back then. I started back then. With now, it's really hard because there's a lot of fucking people on there. So to get kind of going, you know what I mean? It's really difficult because it's so saturated. But back then, there wasn't really a lot of people that were kind of doing it. And you were doing it at a very competitive level before I even fucking knew who you were. Before I even had done a national, you had already done a worlds.
Well, that's crazy because like my thing was like I had to do my research. I was like, wait, Joey, who's Joey? Who's that? Like, and the thing is, like, 'cause I thought, bro, I didn't know. A lot of this stuff is just new to me because like I think from late, I want to say I can say 2013, from 2013 to probably 2014, 2015, I knew nothing of anyone. I didn't know Ryan. I didn't know DeNovo. I didn't know Ben. I didn't know like, I don't know who anyone was. The only people that I knew of were Tony Harris. I knew who Ed Cohen was.
Yeah.
I knew like who Dan Green was.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, I knew
Dan Green was one of the first powerlifters that really killed it on social media. Yeah. By simply just being like fucking intense. Like he's just jacked and goes heavy.
He was jacked, lifted a lot of weights, and then the thing that
he's smart too, though.
He's very smart, a big time businessman. The thing that I can definitely say that kind of ushered in like a kind of a whole new wave of just social media and how you can really use it. Not necessarily IG, but how you use the tube was Animal, bro. Animal Universal.
Yeah, I remember that.
Those videos they would make. Oh my god.
I went to the first, the very, very, very first seminar that Dan ever had at his gym. And that was cool. I mean, he was really smart. He said a lot of stuff. What made me like Dan Green was like his exercise selection, and the stuff that he said made sense to me. And you know how there's a lot of fake news out there. There's a lot of fucking bullshit out there. So like how you were talking about earlier, there's like a couple of us that kind of get it, and within that we kind of like, you know, like I teach that to my youngins. You know what I mean? You teach that to your people, and you know, same thing with Ryan and all them. But it's like, there's not a lot of people that, and now, like, I don't know if you're like, I know you're probably like this too. Like when you see stupid shit, I don't even speak on it. You don't even have to say anything. Can't even, just stay in the pocket.
For it now.
Stay in the pocket.
When I was younger,
you
know what I'm saying? When I was, it's like, it's not even like, I was talking to my mans about this. It's not necessarily even about age. It's just about in the game. I feel like I'm too old in the game now to even speak on this stuff because it literally is killing. It's taking away from my energy.
Yeah.
So rather than, I've just tightened up my circle so much to the point that like the only people that I will rock with is people that I recognize as real. And
again, here's the thing, real quick. From that time, right? So what did you say, 2013-ish till now? There's been a lot of people that I've seen try to jump on and then they fall off because they really like they see it and it's cool, but it's not really what they want to be doing. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot of
it takes work.
Tenacity.
The one thing I'll say is Eric Kenrick, he said in one of his posts, one of his IG posts, like back in the day, before, you know, he's like, people want to have clients, and you know, because they think it's awesome getting clients and training people and doing this online training thing.
It's a lot of work
because they think that it's not a full-time job. But if you're doing your job and you're staying on top of your people, it's a full-time job. You put in more hours than a 40-hour week. And this is the part that I didn't recognize, man. Like I was like, I wanted to do it. People would reach out. I'm like, man, I don't know.
I remember that.
I'm gonna stall it. You know what I mean? When we talked about 2 or 3 times. I'm like, I don't know. I was
like, just do it, man.
Bro, but I was like, I don't feel that I can give them the quality that y'all give them. Because the thing is, like, bro, I'll admit, right, I was blessed right out the gate. I was, you know, I was strong.
You're strong as fuck.
And then people took a liking to me right out the gate. And so, like, and I just, you know, it's not necessarily about being humble. It's just like, I feel like some people are marked for people to like them. I always felt like I've you know what I mean? I may not be the most friendliest person, but I feel like I've always been marked as like, you know what, that dude, he doesn't really try to cause any static. I'm gonna help him. So people had always reached out to help, and I've never had so much, you know, foolish pride to not reach out. Like, you know what, you want to help? Cool, I'll take your hand. Help me. I've always I like having help. I like getting better, knowing more, you know, and acquiring more knowledge from people. So
and a lot of you know, it's good to have book smarts, right? But I think if you're in the trenches and you're actually going through it and you're actually like, you know, dealing with real people and using that is gonna go so far, and you can't like when I think about Bill Belichick, I'm like, you think he went to school and got a PhD in winning Super Bowls?
No.
No. Like, you just got to go through it and you got to learn.
You got to you got to go through it. You just, you know, and you find out who you are as a person, you know, and then I feel like a lot of, number one, it has to do with, you have to know who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it takes a certain type of personality.
Yes, and then of course, here's the thing that I'm starting to realize with a lot of these people, and I'm not knocking anyone, and I'm not throwing shade. If I feel like, you know, I'll at you if it's that personal. But I feel like at this point, the trend is people start trying to develop these personas, right? And this persona is completely different from that personality. And what ends up happening
it has to be natural, and
yeah,
it
if
kind
you
of
try to
almost
sell this persona, eventually your persona takes over your personality, and you become something that you're not. Like me personally, I'm always just gonna be this. This is who I am. You know what I mean? And if what I have to say, if the information I provide you, if my experiences that I've had up to this point can help you get stronger, get better, have a better quality of life, then so be it. If I can't help you, word bond, I bet you I can find somebody that can help you. You know what I'm saying? Like
real quick, when you like, guys, just so you know, at this last nationals, we're in the warm up room, and I'm warming people up, and LS is in there with his fucking what you have, like the pill.
Nah, I got that HK, I got that the Harmon Conan.
So he's got like fucking hood shit bumping in the back. Like he literally just takes what he is everywhere he goes. Doesn't matter. And it's so funny because I guess you could say like that crowd is not really used to like that kind of music. You know what I mean? Like they're not from LA, Texas.
But here's the thing: at most places, especially in the warm up room, no one's listening to the music, the background music. Everyone has their headphones in.
Yeah, because the music's super neutral, so it's like
yeah. So for me, I'm like, bro, I don't do it at the crib, so why would I do it now?
Well, Primetime was cool because it was so little of us. It was only like a couple people, so it was cool that you could like really get in your zone. You know what I mean? Whereas like during the day, it was like, oh my. Oh
yeah, during the day, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like you got to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if who you are works for you, then cool. If I can't do what you do, you know what I'm saying? And I
definitely
as much as I would love to be like, yo, it's LS. I'm about to hit nationals with a gang of people. I'm about to wipe out every one of the categories. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I see this Flexx logo on everybody.
Hey, that means a lot,
I was like, man, and
it's a long time coming too, man. I've been working.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you put in the groundwork, you put in the footwork to get to this point, but all people see is they see the present day end result.
They don't know. They don't remember. They weren't with me in 2013, 2014 when I was going to every single local meet. I remember Shorty. Shorty Sedang.
Yeah.
I remember he was competing at USPA Nationals. I flew to Vegas. I coached him that meet. He won, and I flew back in a day. I was fucking everywhere. I was everywhere.
You have to be.
I'm getting riled up. But, it's not about me. We'll keep it about you.
Nah, bro. But the thing is, we're not just doing it for me or you. We're doing it for the culture. People forget, like, this is my thing, man. Like, hopefully, based off of just how the sport's growing, somebody's going to listen to this that may not have known your story. Somebody's going to listen to this that may not have known my story. And at this point, we can do it for ourselves as much as we want. But then here's the thing. There's so many other people that are already doing it for themselves. And that's why it's so saturated and full of these fakers. You know what I mean? No one's doing it for the culture anymore.
Dude,
people are doing it for the culture.
That's why we have to be, it's such a fucking cliche thing, but like be the change that you want to see.
You have to be the change, man. I mean, and like and this is the part that sucks, man. I'm going to say this, and honestly, I don't even care if they get it misconstrued or not. I've done everything that I've wanted to do in powerlifting. Everything. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, what else do you do it for? If I'm doing it for anything other, like this is the realest shit you'll hear me say in this whole podcast. At some point, once you do it and you've done, like, you set your goal. I mean, everyone's goal is something. Yeah. My goal was to win the championship. I wanted to win the IPF championship. I bet I've done that. Cool. Once you set that goal, that personal goal, and you've done it, what else are you doing it for? You want to do it for more?
You want to
or are you doing it for yourself? Yeah. So it all comes right back to me. Me. So what can one do in order to, like, just knock that out of the box and start making it about something else other than yourself? You got to do it for the culture.
And everybody's what you said is very relatable. Obviously, I'm not a world champion, but I put up, 800 kg total. Compared to where I started, I feel very content with that. I'm really happy, especially with, when I came into powerlifting, I had some ailments, you know, from playing sports that were still bothering me. I found a way around it, and I use, you know, what I've learned to get around my shit to help people that are dealing with similar shit.
Exactly.
And I've done, you know, I feel like I still have a little more in the tank. You know, I'm still competing, and I'm still, you know, I'm not done yet, but
you're still getting stronger.
Exactly. I mean, it's crazy because when you start, like, you never realize. If you would have told me when I started, Joey, you're gonna hit this one day, and I'd be like, damn, like, really? You know what I mean?
Bro,
you gotta stay with it. Don't get hurt. I probably said this 1,000 times. If you stay with it and you can just avoid injury and keep it moving, just give it time.
You get stronger.
Just give it time.
Time.
And you never know.
And people don't understand,
how
bro.
Many
like
times?
They look.
How many
they
times?
Go
ahead.
People, they don't understand. They look at. I can say, they look at Jesse, right?
Yeah.
They'll look at Ashton, right? They'll look at Christoph, right? They'll look at Ray, right? These cats are strong, right?
For the record, you tied, like, guys, like, Ellis is really strong. Like, you tied Ashton, and you beat him many times.
Like, well, I was fat. I shouldn't have been fat. I shouldn't have been fat.
Dude, you could have.
I should have probably pulled 720 and just called it a day.
Dude, like, for those that don't know, so at Nationals, LS pulls his third deadlift. It was, like, super easy. And I told you this, too. I was like, you just gonna let Ashton just tie you like that?
But this is the thing, bro. You know how I get down. I don't even know what I'm lifting. I never know. And the thing is, people don't understand. Like, I told Six Pack Labadab about this when we were on King of Lifts. I was like, bro, I looked and I looked at the thing that said 320. I purposefully, mind you, I mean, I'm no dummy when it comes to numbers. I know numbers very, very well. But at some point, for me, I have to turn my brain off and be just an athlete.
Ryan told me one time. I think Ryan told me one time. He was like, there's thinkers and doers, and LS is a fucking doer, and not many people can outdo. Like, once you get in that, once you're on the field, you're on the field.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're on, like, this fucking 100 yards is all that matters right now.
This is my sanctuary. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not messing with anybody. This is it. So, like, I've always played ball like that. Got to the highest level that way. I ran track that way. Won a national championship that way. So, like, I'm not gonna change that formula. If that's what I do, lifting weights.
And as a coach, it makes me feel better. Like, so Nationals was the first meet I handled Russ in person, and I kind of knew he was gonna be fine. But, like, when I saw that he was composed, I was like, oh, I can work now. Like, I could do my thing. He can lift, and we're good. John Hack is the same way. Jesse is the same way.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. So I'm gonna get you in just a sec. So you know, I looked and I saw 320. Well, in my head, for a brief second, I was like, I came out of it. I was like, oh, 320. In my head, I swore that was 720. I was like, I'm good. When I pulled it, and I was like, it is what it is. Now, mind you,
no worries.
I just wasn't really thinking the way I should have been. But again, I trust my coaches to the point, like, you call it, I'm gonna do it. That's it. No question.
I think in that situation, the coach has to look at Ashton's second and try to guess what. What is Ashton's max out going to be? Like, what is his all out?
And the thing is, like,
and he
to eyeball call that. If you would have looked at his second, like, oh yeah, this kid, he probably won't have it. But the thing you can't account for,
when it's all on the line,
like Ashton has what I have. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
he wants to. When you want to win, you could put. Bro, we could have put 850 pounds on that bar. He would have lifted that hoe. Like, he wanted that, bro. Like, and the thing is, like, people don't understand, like, how can you cheer for somebody when they're about to beat you? Bro, if you're in that moment and you recognize that somebody's about to go in and you want them to have an opportunity. Dude, if that were me on the other end, I would want somebody going in for me. You know what I mean? Like,
those are the moments that we do it for, man. Like,
like, you do it for the culture. I've got hella national championships.
Oh,
it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that, but what I am worried about is all these young knuckleheads that are watching this live streams like, oh man, y'all you know, it's about me, it's about me, it's about, like, it's not about you. It's never been about you. This shit's been it was existing before we did. The same shit that David Ricks did for me, I'm gonna do for Ashton. And I hope one day in the future he's gonna do it for somebody else coming up. You know what I'm saying? The same, you know, the same way I want to have his back is the same way I try to have Jesse's back at Nationals. But like, I'm like, yo, I feel like this guy's got a target on his back. They're showing him no love.
Dude, I mean, I'm the one that has to like fight the judges when this happens. Yeah. And it's go. Let's roll it back to 20. Do you remember 2016 primetime? It was Dave Ricks. It was Dave Ricks and Jesse, and that was Dave Ricks's kind of like almost like comeback.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. And he had all the momentum. He was in his fucking New Balance. And Jesse, he blows up his first 2 squats. They call him a depth on his third, which,
yep.
I mean, we knew that was coming, so whatever. And then we go to bench.
Yeah.
He's got an injury from strongman. We only get the opener. And then on deadlift, he pulls a 777. They red light him and tell him he didn't lock out. And I'm literally losing my mind. And I've never seen him. He just gets like when he gets a tough call, he just gets quiet. But you could see on his face, like, he'll fucking rip somebody's head off. And I told him, like, we literally have to shake everything off that you have right now. Short-term memory. Next play. Right? I need you to go out there, and I need you to fucking... And I like, I'm not lifting the weights, so all I could do is try to give my energy to them and hope that they can do it. And
I died.
Dude, it was...
That was me. I died a little inside, because that was the one... That was my 700. Pull for the win. I'm like, yo, I'm about to pull for this win. Bro, I thought I had... Well, no, man.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball, and it just, like...
It just, I was like, oh, my God. And I'm like, I was like, wait a minute. In my head, I had all the other calls before. Like, she's going to give me a down call. Didn't get it. She's still not giving me the down call. Oh, shit, it's slipping. It's slipping. It's slipping. And then it came down. And
it's like they wait for you. It's like they wait for you to fuck up. It's like, if you knock it out and you're clean, just give them the down command. But
I was hurt. But then I was like, well, shoot, hey, Jesse, this is on you, baby. Let's go. So Jesse goes out, you know.
And by the way, his belt is literally, it's like the first belt he ever used, and it's nothing. It's like
paper thin, dude.
It's fucking, you could literally rip it with your hands if you tried. But he got it. And that kid, man, we went to go eat after, and he went from, like, I need to kill people to so happy. You know what I mean? And
yeah, man.
I want him to just get healthy, and, you know, it'll be...
Me too.
But Ashton's coming up. You're still... Dude, for those that don't know, LS, how old are you, man? 39, guy. And he's still getting better. Bro. He's still getting better. And, like, it's literally... Weird. It's weird. It's literally, I feel like that, like 25, whatever 25 was, it's been bumped up. You know what I mean? Yeah. James Harrison, what 39.
What did Jay-Z say? 30 is the new 20 or some shit like that?
Dude, it really is. It really is. Like, even in like all levels, dude, because people are more aware of their body now. They're taking care of themselves. Yeah, and
you can't subscribe to that. Like, David Ricks and Anthony Harris, I mean, dude, I cite them all the time, but I'm like,
he makes no
Anthony
sense.
Harris, bro, he had... At one time, he had to deal with like cancer. He had to deal with a prostate issue, and he had to deal with he had to get his knee done. And he comes back less than a year later and goes 850 plus and takes the world record.
He's ridiculous. And when I look at his body, I'm trying to figure out he's not overly buff. He's just he's just
solid as a rock.
I will say this, and I got to appreciate him a lot. At 2016 Nationals, I had to handle Grant Higa, and him and Anthony were in the same. They were in the same class, and they're warming up together, and they had this kind of I was just I could tell that these guys have been lifting longer than I've been alive, and it was a privilege. Yeah. It was a privilege for me.
I'm telling you
to be back there with these OGs, and even though I was so honored that Grant came to me for programming and to take care of him for that meet, because this guy is literally I kid you not. Literally been lifting longer than I've been on Earth, and
that was a crazy thing when I was talking to Dave Ricks. He's like, you realize he goes, I was like, dude, you're a young buck. I was like, sir, I'm not that young. He's like, I've been lifting longer. You've been alive. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's real. You're real right now. It's real when you you start thinking about these dudes have been doing it for the culture for so long.
And he's still getting better too, dude. It
blows
my mind, man.
It's one of those things where you look back on it, you're like, man, like, you know, you see what they've done, and hopefully, I pray over this quite a bit. I hope in some small way that what we're doing right now, people look back on them like, you know what, they did it for the culture. You know what I mean? Like, powerlifting is at this point right now because of these cats. You know what I mean? When David Ricks and the Brad Gillinghams and the Grants and, you know, and the Anthony Harrises and the Jen Thompsons and all these legends that are living as we speak, when they're done doing it for the culture, they passed it on, and we took that torch and we kept going.
Dude, I feel like you know, I feel like we are doing that. I think you know, I have a lot of people tell me after killing myself at nationals to try to help everyone, you know, they appreciate me, and that means a lot. And but honestly, like I know that I'm gonna be more impactful as a coach than I will be as a lifter. Although there are some people that do look up to me as a lifter, which it blows my mind because I think subconsciously we always compare
you move,
to like the top.
Joe, you move more weight now than I've ever seen you move. And the thing is, your technique is so much better now. Like just from
my training,
the time that I met you till present day, like your technique is day and night better. And like I ain't gonna lie, like I used to be like, yo man, like Joe's strong, but I don't really think he knows how strong he is. You know what I'm saying?
You're
like
not the first person that told me that.
I can honestly say I've never been like I've never been like a super coach, but I can recognize people's potential and their strength. And I was like when I saw you at what meet was it was bench nationals when you had to cut. And
I died for that shit.
And you still did well. That
was my best. Like, you know, that was you know what I learned that meet? I mean I learned this like through all the challenges that I put myself through in fucking life, but what I learned was if you are determined to do something and you have the plan and you execute the plan, right? It's gonna happen. And let me tell you, I made weight that meet at the very possible last time that you could make weight. Elliot Feldman was back there with me, and I kid you not, I'm fucking behind the curtain naked with my shit, and my weight was going like this. My weight was like, it wasn't just straight at 105. I remember you said Joey is the cutoff because I was 105. Honestly, it was like 105.1, 104.9, and it kept going like that.
It just kept going. It was a tweener.
And then he was like, you know what, like 105. So then I had to gain the weight back, which was the hardest thing because my body was like rejecting everything. So I just did the best that I could. I remember I never warm up like this. 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, and then I did my opener. It was like 418, and I jumped right to 440, and then I put another 10 on there, 463, and it was my best. It was like my best fucking like when you
best press.
I don't know. It's like when you have the stress. I mean, I've hit that in a full meet. But like to do it at 105 and to have to go through that cut, I fucked up. I thought I was weighing in later in the day. That's why everything was mixed up. But we got it done. I remember you there. Was Dennis at that one?
Nah, Dennis wasn't at that one.
Have you beat him yet?
Nope.
Damn, man. So Dennis,
I've been in the position twice now.
So guys, for those that don't know, Dennis, how do you say his last name?
Sierra. Dennis Sierra.
He's like a bench only guy who just recently started to do full power. Like full power, he's not even gonna mess with LS, like not even close. But in bench only, what does he bench? Like 512?
Like 513. He just said it at 513, pretty sure.
And he's how old?
At Ronette. He's 48, 49.
Oh my god.
He might be 50 already, I think.
Oh my god. So
these 50-year-olds are murdering me, son.
Oh my god. And he's benching over 5. LS is benching over 5, and it's like, it's just a whole nother level of you have everybody else, and then you have them up there in terms of the bench. But LS,
it's crazy, man.
LS tied Ashton. LS, like you've won IPF Worlds. You're a world champion in the Open.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
There you go, man. Check that off the box.
It's done. I'm done. But I still got to get this freaking bench, bro.
You'll get it. You're gonna. You know what, man? If you keep working, it's inevitable. And I know it can be frustrating sometimes because you're like right fucking there. We're literally talking about like 10 pounds, not even.
Nah, we're talking like 4.5, 5 pounds. Like, and there's been a couple times when I should have and I didn't. And that was just on me. I think I feel like before it's all said and done, I mean, he's told me to my face, goes, "You're gonna be the champion," goes, "but I'm not gonna give it to you." He told me straight to my face, goes, "You'll be champion one day, but I'm not gonna give it to you." I'm like, "Yes, sir."
There you go, man.
I mean, and when that's done, that's when I might actually contemplate, like, you know what, I'm gonna walk into the sunset, or just leave it open, let these young cats do this open thing, man, and just, you know, try to hold down the U.S. for the Masters. But then I'm like, I don't know. But
you can still compete. You can still compete with them. So
yeah, this is what I was gonna say. I mean, obviously, I feel like you have a huge impact in terms of lifting and as a coach, but I low key, like, I feel like how we touched on earlier about, like, you know, Belichick, you know, like there's no blueprint to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, being a good coach and winning championships. While you may not have personally won a championship, you've got hella rings from people that you've coached that have won championships. Like, and it's crazy. I'm not being on dick right now. I'm just saying, like, you low key have like a Belichick thing going. You got a little Nick Saban shit going. You know what I mean, with your coaching, that
means a lot, man.
Which is crazy, because, like, people...
And you know what? It means a lot that you're saying that, because there was one commentator at Nationals, not a commentator, announcer guy on the mic, not Gino. Gino fucking loves me. I think he kills it. I think he loves Tina, but he loves me too.
Oh yeah,
this one guy, like, he would never say, anytime anybody was wearing a shirt, he would never say it, but for everybody else, he would say it. And I noticed little stuff like that. You know, I don't, and it means a lot when your peers congratulate you, and you know, if you do something cool, you know, I'll say good shit. Like after Nationals, Brian Miner was like, "Joey, man, like, you're smashing it." You know, Ryan Doris, you know, all these, because we appreciate each other. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like at the beginning, I can say this because this is how I felt at the beginning. Because we were all, you know, just like these USAPL dudes, just doing our thing. And then, you know, we got this Cali kid coming from, like, presumably nowhere. Like, who's this Cali kid?
Nobody lives here.
Like,
that's
not even USAPL territory. At the time, we didn't really have, like, much, you know, like, that's a USPA kid right there, man. He's got a lot of USPA guys under his belt, whatever. And it wasn't necessarily that you're a USPA dude. It's just that you get a lot of love from the people in USPA. I mean, you're
because I was here, man. I was at everything,
yeah. So, like, I was just like, man, I don't really know this dude. You know what I mean? And me, if I don't know you,
I'm gonna
give you a shot. But I ain't gonna hate you. You know? And it took me a little bit, and then, like, after a little bit, I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. And then, like, when I finally absorbed Joey, then here comes Tina. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, this is a whole different energy in the room. So then, like, you know, you have to absorb Joe, then you have to absorb Tina, but then you have to be able to absorb Joey and Tina. You know what I'm saying? And then once you, like, get like, okay, I get it, I get what you guys are doing. But then on top of, you know, for me, the proof's always in the pudding. The proof's always in the work. It's you know, the action speaks so much louder than the words. And then when I see you guys out there grinding everywhere. Yeah, I see you have like 30, 40 lifters, and if I don't see you, I see Tina. You know what I'm saying? I just boom, 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 boom. And not only you out there doing it, but you're playing chess with every one of them. And when I see you, you know, with a person that I know, you know, like, this nigga's not even gonna get a top 10. But you're still trying to play chess with a cat that's not even gonna get top 10. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, all right, I can rock with those people.
Because everyone, dude, and I will say the dudes that are so far away from getting first place, that it's almost kind of they just worry about themselves, and they can get better. They get a lot of progress because they're not worried about everybody else. And then you have the guys that are really close, and they look at other people, and they go, you know? And I've noticed that my guys that have played sports, like real sports, we have to deal with real adversity, you know what I mean? They come into the sport and they do very well, and you can definitely tell, even guys at the highest level, guys that haven't gone through that, they kind of struggle mentally with dealing with. Dude, to me, it's like, what I tell people is like, so for first squat, right? The most nervous lift in the meet is your first squat, because it's like, you know, it's kind of like your first one, you got to hit depth, whatever, and you don't want to bomb out. That is nothing compared to kickoff. That is nothing compared to kickoff.
There is nothing more nerve. I tell you what's the two most nerve-wracking things that I ever did playing sports. I can tell you three actually. Number one, that first kickoff, when your kickoff return and that ball's coming to you.
Oh shit.
Number two, when like it's always situational, but when it's a fourth quarter and you don't have any timeouts left and they punt the ball to you and you're the punt returner.
Oh man.
Bro. And it's no, and the thing is, you're in return, like you're not in your 30 in, you're in your 40, you're on your 40. So you know you gotta return this hoe. And you're down. That's so nerve-wracking. And so, finally,
go ahead.
My last one is the anchor leg on a sprint relay. That is the most nerve-wracking thing.
Hey, but at least when you sprint, it's everything right now. Fucking give it everything you have. Go. Just go. And
kind of, but you still got to remember your coaching. You still got to remember the turnover. You still got to remember how many steps. You know what I'm saying? You still got to know when to breathe. You got to know when to stay relaxed. So the thing is, that tension it'll seize you up. Nah, and if you look around that corner, you see your boy he's half a step behind. Like, I got to get it.
Man, I remember, so I played defense, and I remember we had linebackers that would need to step in for people that got hurt. And I would be out there, and I'm looking to my left, and I got this fucking rookie dude, and they literally can't handle it. They can't handle it. It will break you as a person, but I think that people need to go through that. And to build off of what you said, it was a high school game. It was in the playoffs, so it was elimination.
Oh,
and it was against a team that beat us in preseason, Monroe, and they had a guy. I think it was number 6 who he was already on a full ride to Arizona. So like, and I knew they were gonna go to him, and it was 13-19. We were up. No, it was like 14-19. We were up, but they had the ball, and we had to shut. Like, if you don't shut them out, we lose, right? So that last play, like, even though I'm getting fucking goosebumps right now. Even though, like, if this man breaks on us, we lose. I just knew. I knew that like something about defense. Like, we knew like nobody is getting anything. Nobody is getting anything. They ran a fucking drag. And, like, everybody was on that shit, and we knocked that shit down, and the fucking clock runs out, and we win. But it was just like, it was like this last Patriots game where there were, like, 2 possessions in a row when, like, the Patriots started coming back, and the Jaguars had the ball, 3 and out. And it was just like, Patriots in a groove now. Like, once defense is on it, once that quarterback is shook, it's done. If
defense doesn't want you to score, you're not going to score.
Yeah.
Like, it takes...
But they have to get it, though. They have to, like, once you get in that groove, like, once your D-line know, I'm going to bitch this offensive lineman, like, once I know, like,
it's a wrap.
I'm blitzing this gap, and I don't give a fuck who comes to meet me, dude, that's when...
It's a wrap.
The best feeling is when a fucking guard or tackle pulls, and you blitz right behind them, and the quarterback's right there trying to make his hand off, and you just eat his ass.
I don't know that. Shit, I see somebody coming around the edge like that, I'm hiding right behind my line, and like, you better keep this fool out. Yeah, kick him out. I gotta get up. I gotta get the field. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think the most helpless feeling is
because you play offense, huh?
When they lay you up on a screen right in front of the linebacker, that's the most.
Oh man!
When your lineman pull too far,
you gotta just turn.
And that quarterback lays that ball up on that screen.
I hope I live.
And you just gonna look, and you can hear the steps coming. But then if you have, this is the thing people don't understand when you play sports, especially discipline. This is when discipline kicks in. That quarterback has just laid that screen up, straight up in the air. You're already short, so you know you're going to have to jump. You know the linebacker's already read the play. He's already coming. You got to jump and go get that ball. Otherwise, he's either going to, A, intercept that bad boy and take it a pick 6,
or kill you,
or B, hit you and kill you. So you already know,
hey,
like, I guess I'm going to die.
Did you see?
Guess I'm going to die, dude.
Did you see Gronk get knocked out?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Yo, that little DB... he was fearless. Like, Gronk was came down, and dude just head to head, he killed him. He's gone. People been wanting to do Gronk in ever since he got in the league, though. Man, honestly, people are gonna probably trip out over this, but I'm kind of glad he got taken out because he was fucking up. He was dropping passes.
Gronk hasn't had enough. He hasn't had enough hours on the field, bro. He's just
then they need to recognize
he's been
that.
Hurt.
They need to recognize that because like we cannot have these fucking at this time we can't have that. You got to be ready to go,
bro. I'm telling you right now, if the Eagles win, I'm likely gonna drown myself, dude. I don't. Bro, I cannot stand it.
I told Tina, this is not true, but if the fucking Patriots lose, I'm fucking not gonna use IG for a week. I'm not even gonna look at my DMs because people tag me and shit. They tag me and shit, like talking shit about Brady. I'm just like, what do you have to hate about him? He gives it everything. He fucking gives it everything. People just don't like him because they just don't like him. It pisses me off. I
had to respect him to the point I started liking him. Because my favorite quarterback, this is crazy because I'm an NFC guy to the day I die. But all my favorite quarterbacks have always been AFC guys. Freaking Marino's my favorite quarterback all time.
My mom was a Niners
but then,
person.
Come on, Train, chill out. Marino was my favorite. He was my favorite guy all time until freaking Peyton came along. I was like, all right, cool. So I started liking Manning. And
hey, he's good.
Manning was my dude until TB12, bro. I just started seeing how. And the thing is, Brady's not my favorite quarterback, but he's the quarterback I respect the most.
And the way that they handle when they deal with press and they deal with the press is always like, oh, you hurt your hand, like what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh, this, oh, that, and like you could tell that the people asking these questions, they don't get it. It's like when you have an injury, you play by ear. Even in lifting, it's like yeah, okay.
You just play. You take what's there,
dude. I fucking last week on Thursday, I'm warming up with like 425, and I strained my back, a little strained, but it was like I didn't want to push it, right? And I was like I was sore as fuck that night and the next day, but I called the audible. I pushed my high bar squats a day forward, and I went light, got through it, and I squatted yesterday fine, or 2 days ago fine, and it's like we'll see. But a lot of people, and this is transitioning back into powerlifting, and I like the way that Belichick coaches his guys. He doesn't like them making a fuss about injuries because they're temporary, and you don't need to you don't need to put energy into making a big deal about it. A lot of people
about an injury,
they look for sympathy. Dude, how many knickknacks have you gone through? How many little things here and there have you gone through? You know what I mean? Like it's part of it. It's part of it. Like we're gonna feel. I've seen, dude, Ashton hurts his back. Here and there, like. My shoulder is always fucked up. I mean, I'm good now, but it's like it's a little pissed off here and there. It's like we deal with shit, and you have to understand your body and know what you can go through. And
people laugh. I did a seminar. I think it may have been the one I did in Canada. One of them I did in Canada last year. I was like, y'all, I'll be 100 with you. I've yet to do one meet at 100%. I've never done a meet at 100%. My first meet I did 100%. My first ever meet I did 100%. I was like, after that. To get to this level, I don't care if it's the top level: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, shit, curling, whatever it is, luge. To get to the highest level, you're gonna get a knick-knack. You're gonna get a bruise. You're gonna get some pain.
To be the best at anything, you have to be a little imbalanced when it comes to that thing. For example, like you said, I may not have a lot of my personal rings, but for people that I coach. I make sure that my guys are well prepared to put us in a position to be successful. Tina was telling me, Joey, you can't keep grinding like this. You can't, you're spending all this time, like we're not spending time together because you're working or whatever. And it's like, why not? This is, and if you listen, if you hear, I feel like such a D-bag comparing myself. I'm not comparing myself to Tom Brady, but his wife tells him, I've never seen anybody give up so much for something like football that he loves. And it's like, we're just, I'm not trying to say that I'm fucking God or anything, but when come nationals time, I get really imbalanced. Like I'm really focusing on, making sure that everybody's on point. Everybody has their, dude, it doesn't even like, there's no way to be balanced with that many people, making sure everybody has their attempts with every situation and every weight cut. It's like, but I think this is what I was.
But this is what you chose to do.
This is what exactly.
This is what you chose to do.
And I don't want sympathy from anyone. I want to do this. I want to do this.
This is what I think people need to understand about all of this. For those that that are in the game, for those that are already in the game, they identify. For those that aren't in the game and just want a cool podcast to listen to, baby, this is educational.
Yeah.
When it comes down to something that means so much to you, that you lose sleep, you give all your time to, and you're willing to sacrifice damn near any and everything to make sure that, you know, that the greater good is accomplished. You don't necessarily even think about it being a sacrifice. You don't think about it like, I'm giving up my time for this, because at that point in time, that is your time. Your time is making sure that everyone's on point with all situations. And here's the thing. Not a lot of people are built like that. They're not built like that. They're not built to be able to handle that. That's mental strain and mental anguish that most people, that's a deadline. But it's not one deadline. It's 20, 30, 40 deadlines that you have to have done, you know, in real time, so that when you go over the game plan with all these people, they know what's going on. Now, it's not necessarily time sacrifice, but rather value added, because this is something that you want to do. This is something that you've worked your ass off to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look back, I think part of the reason that I rock with you so heavy is I started judging you more by your body of work as a man, you know, and I mean, not just as a man, but as a man and as a person and as a coach. And, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I knew the respect factor was real when I was like, bro, I really don't know if I should do this or not. But you were one of the first people that I went to and I talked to about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally, I can count on one hand, 4 fingers, how many people I talked to about. Girl, Ryan, Ben, you. Boom. That's it. And
means a lot, man.
I didn't know, I don't know, am I talented enough? You know, can I do this? Can I, you know, and it wasn't until I was like, all right, cool. She says she thinks I should do it. Ryan says, I think you can do it. Ben's like, I think you can do it. You know, Ryan's like, you can do it. He's like, bro, you should do it. I'm like, all right, bet. And then I was like, all right, let me get a second tier of people to talk to about it. And it only after like talking to my team, like, you know, I think I might be able to do this. Like, it took me like 5 people to even like,
yeah, man. You know
really
what?
Think about doing.
I was really proud of you when you pulled up to a barbell brigade that time, and you had your logo on your shirts and stuff. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, hell yeah. And I was happy to see Ryan wearing it, because that's the whole, like, that means like, that's like homie love. You know what I mean? Like,
bro. It's been
a lot, man. That's
like
cool
on top
shit.
of, you know, on top of trying to do the programming thing and the strength thing, like just trying to get that business part off the ground. Like, that's something I've been wanting to do, bro, since I was like a kid. You know what I mean? And so like, it was just like chasing dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that year, just literally like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it was just about like, rather than just being the same old dude, like everyone has a dream. Everyone has a dream. But no one has the balls to go chase that dream because they're afraid of failure. That's what it boils down to. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't necessarily afraid of failure. And
it was like
I wasn't afraid of failure.
A new thing that you hadn't really got.
Yeah, I was afraid. I wasn't afraid of failing in terms of the business or in terms of the people. I was afraid of failing myself. You know, and it was just fear. I was afraid of the whole concept of fear. And
I think you definitely have something to offer people, and even almost like you have the personality that can maybe get more out of people that you know, a sheet might not be able to get out of people. You know what I mean?
I was trying to think, like, you know, I mean, me and my mans, we talk about it a lot. I was like, you know, for me, I've been able to, I literally have been able to surround myself with just some of the most talented people. Obviously, you know, you included. And I've been able to kind of have like my benchmark as to this is a gold standard as to how you were supposed to be a programmer, how you're supposed to be a coach, how you're supposed to run a group of people. Like, you know, like Ryan and Ben, I feel like they're big time gold standards in terms of, you know, coaching. I feel like they're great coaches. I feel like you're a great coach. I feel like Mike T's a great coach. But when it comes to like commanding an army, delegation, and running a fucking unit, like, you're my gold standard. So like,
means a lot,
when I watch how you and Tina operate, like, and Tina, anybody that knows Tina, Tina's headstrong, bro. If Tina does what Tina wants,
dude. If you
what Tina wants,
as a guy, then, if you're not content with yourself, she will expose you.
Yeah,
she will fucking.
So
violate
the thing that gets me is like, but when Tina throws on that Flexx logo, you running everything, and what she does represents you, and she'll make her move, but she won't make her move without making sure like, is this cool with Joe? Would Joe do this? And so I'm like, damn. So for me, that's where I set my goal standards. Like, this is how, if I'm ever to bring a unit into the game, this is how I got to run it. You know, and until I can envision myself running a unit like that, bro, you run your shit like the Wu-Tang, bro. Like, I'm not joking. Like, it's like you're the RZA and everybody else is the rest of the Wu-Tang. You run it so well. So,
try, man.
If you don't know who Wu-Tang is, y'all need to Google that. But, like, I have my goal standards as to, like, you know, just how it's supposed to be done. And I'm surrounded by people that just get it done. So, when I decided to start taking on people, I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. So, I took on a few people here and there. You know what I mean? It's been dope. It's been absolutely awesome. But I'm having to couple that and balance that with trying to, you know, get this business cracking.
Yeah.
So then there's that.
That's a lot, man.
Then at the same time, you know, then people start coming at you about like, well, we heard your podcast, or we've seen you do this, we've seen you do that, or we've seen you hanging out, or we were sitting next to you guys, we were at the booth you guys were on the table next to the booth we were sitting at, we heard you speaking. Most people just think I'm just like this. You know what I mean? This thug. You know what I'm saying? You judge a book by its cover, like, oh, he's just like this big strong dude. That's it.
Dude, I feel like I just fuck around on social media, but like people, I'm lucky in that I have enough people that kind of they see them work, so they understand what I'm about. So I can just kind of be me.
You have a good rep, so like, I mean, your rep precedes you. You know what I mean? So like, I'm at that point right now, like, not necessarily as a lifter. I think I'm straight as a lifter, but trying to like develop your rep as a businessman and as a coach, and really trying to focus on that portion. You know, so like right when I think I have a footing, I kind of have my footing with this business thing. I think I'm at my own pace. I think I'm good with that. This coaching thing, I think I'm moving at a very solid pace. I'm not taking on too many people. Everyone's still, they're able to get 100% of my time. Yeah. I'm Gucci with that. But then out of nowhere comes all these opportunities to start doing seminars and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, word.
You have to balance it, man. That's why.
Yeah, so like it's like you do this balancing act. You try to play the game, but at the same time, I keep my head on a swivel to pay attention. Not necessarily what my I don't necessarily feel like there's opponents in the game. I just feel like, you know what I mean, there's your peers. Mm-hmm. And I look into what you guys are doing, like, all right, cool. Well, Joey doesn't like that. He makes his moves like this, and this.
Yeah.
And his people are successful on this level, this level, this level. All right, that's what's up. I like that. Well, Ryan makes moves like this, and this. Mm-hmm. Mike T makes moves like this, and this. Bryce makes moves like this. Like, I try to pay attention to what you guys are doing, because again, I you know, on the outside looking in, people are like, oh, these guys are eating. You know what I'm saying? But on the inner part of that circle, you's like, yo, these boys are grinding.
People, so they see. It's almost weird. It's almost like the better you do, few amount of people, they get kind of like they think they could do it too. So they don't appreciate what you're doing. It's very. I'm speaking about a very like. It's a small percentage of people, but I think it's like a human thing to see. You know, oh, he's not so special. Oh, I could do it. Well, it's like, we'll do it then. You know what I mean? It's really.
All you gotta do is do it.
Like, you gotta. If you're really here with me, like, I'm lucky in that I get to work with, you know, so many people and see what they go through, like, every day, and I really appreciate them for you know, the shit that they have to juggle.
Yeah.
I have this one girl who's been with me forever. She's only competed a couple times, but she's like really successful in business. She has a corporate job. And she dies doing that. She travels all the time and she's grinding doing that, like, all day. She still preps her food. She still goes to the gym and she still checks in. And it's like, I appreciate that because I'm actually with them. So you know, if you're on the outside looking in at anyone, you know, don't just say, oh, they got lucky, oh, this, oh, that. Like, you have to really, like, do your research, and if you don't have context, you can't really speak on anything. You know what I mean? Like people,
yeah, man.
like you're my friend, right? So you're gonna know what's going on. You've been around me, dude. If we see each other, I'm gonna see you in a month. I'm gonna see you in a month. You know what I mean? And like, so you see how I'm moving and you see what's going on, but it's like, you know, if you really look at it to that level, you'll see that what we're doing is good shit. And we really are, we want to be a part of this. Like, there's people that have told me they don't even want to do what, they're coaching, they coach, but they say they don't want to keep doing it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, I want to do this till I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I want to, like, honestly,
because I'm
starting to, it's like you start, I think what got me was I started having just as much fun looking at these PRs. And, you know, I'm so emo as is. You know, like, the hard thing for me is, like, you know, they'll tag me and everything, man, and I try to keep them low key because I'm like, bro, I want the people to see what you do. I was like, once you get that meat under your belt, then we'll start tagging, we'll start throwing your name up all over. But I don't want people seeing you coming until you're here. But like every now and then, I'll get a text, or I'll get a Facebook, I'll get tagged in one, man, and it'll be like, I haven't moved this much weight in years, or I haven't done this and whatever.
It means a lot,
this
dude.
is my first time in this PR.
Grateful.
That shit hits you in the feel so hard, bro. I mean, because when you think about, like, we're sitting there like,
it doesn't get old. It doesn't get old.
I gotta hit this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we're out here like, I gotta hit this 450. I gotta spot the 650, whatever. And this cat's like, I've never squatted 400 pounds in my whole life, bro. And it's what's been like going on, you know, what, a year and a half now, and like that I really started actually taking real people on, bro. And I promise you, I've yet to get one of those and not, like, I have to go in the bathroom and ball, dude, because like, it gets me, like, it cuts me deep. And
powerlifting can empower them on the platform, but it also empowers them, like,
in life.
They take that to life. They take that through everything that they do. You know, that confidence that they get through. And I've had guys, you know, I had one guy get in a car accident. Girlfriend broke up with him, and he found out that he had like a bone spur in his shoulder or some bullshit, all in the same week. And he battled through all of it. He got through all of it, and he had the best meet at nationals. And it's like the lifting is kind of like a
therapeutic.
It keeps
it's therapy,
it together.
bro.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's really powerful.
It's a little thing, but it does so much, man. And you know, it's an additive to life. You know, I mean, and it can make you or break you at some point. I mean, and what people don't understand is, like, I tell every one of the people that I work with, like, bro, this is our escape. This is our island, man. And I don't care what goes on else in your life, you know what I mean? But you don't, you know, you can be selective about who you let on your island. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your island. This is your time. Like, I know that, you know, bills might be due or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, the part that kills me is, like, when, you know, you get these cats that, you know, they have families, bro. And I know for a fact that you're having to take money that you could be using for your family, but you're paying me to make sure that you get stronger. Like, hey, man, like, bro, if you don't got it this month, cool. We'll get it. I'm not worried about that. But the one thing that I don't want people doing is, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I don't want them, like, stopping their training. And you run into that a lot.
Because you invest in the person, and now you're investing in their success.
You invest into them.
And that's rare.
They might invest money into you, but then you start investing your time and your effort into them as a person, bro. And then you start getting close to these people, man. And they, like you kind of said before, like, they're more than just a sheet. They're more than just
client,
a spreadsheet.
And then there's like a gray area. There's like a different area, and I don't want to. Like, I hate calling people clients. I hate it.
I
just say my people. Like, I just say my people.
Yeah, like, because after a while, man, because then, you know, they'll see like a PR that you hit, and then they'll message like, Coach, I saw what you did, baby. Yeah, like, or just like,
yeah, it gets
like,
you, man. It's encouraging.
You know, or they'll reach out like, man, I've been wanting to, you know, get you to coach me for a year now, but I was afraid to ask and everything else. And I'm like, man, like, bro, but then I forget I was that cat. I was that dude, like, bro, I would do anything for Mike T to coach me. I would do anything for Ben Esco to coach me. But I would love for Ryan to call my numbers. And then, like, I'm like, oh, I got these boys on speed dial now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got, you know what I mean? Like, I think part of the, I guess, that human experience, man, of just seeing the evolution, not of just powerlifting, but of for me as your friend, as watching you guys, you know, and watching how everybody, just since just as we met, how everybody's evolved and made such an impact. Like, because let's be real, when we got in the game, to be 100, like it was Mike T, Matt Gary. They had this bitch on lock, son. And I'm not knocking it because they still got the game in the chokehold. You know what I'm saying? And
well, they're like the OGs. You know what I mean?
They are
like,
the OGs.
We don't really have OGs, so that's what we have. We have like Matt Gary's an OG for sure. Susie's a legend. You know, Mike.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
guy doing it. So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like he's a, and I mean, and I say it all the time. I was like, I feel like Matt Gary is the Phil Jackson of powerlifting. He's my Phil Jackson. So I look at these OGs, man, how they've had the game in a chokehold for so long, and when we came in, like I feel like we came in with respect, with reverence, you know what I mean, and with patience. Like, I'm gonna wait my turn, you know what I mean. And now you turn around, you know what I'm saying. You got your piece. Bryce has his little piece, you know what I'm saying. Mike still has his chunk, you know what I'm saying. And even Mike and Matt have evolved. They're not where they were when we first started. They're on some like, we're on Mount Olympus. We're the gods, you guys are demigods. You're working. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see how the game has changed, but how it's evolved to the point that the people that have worked, because the thing, I always think we work hard, but they work just as hard. You know what I'm saying? And they're on a whole nother level. So it's like,
yeah, everybody has like their different, you know, thing that they kind of do or
they bring to the table. Yeah.
So, and everybody does things differently, and that's the cool thing about coaching is everyone is different.
No, everyone is different.
I can't do,
you know what I mean? And
like I'm me, you're you, Mike is Mike,
yeah.
You know, Matt is Matt, Ben is Ben, etc., etc. And like that's the great thing about it is
yeah,
we can all
eat together, and I think we've done a really good job. This is the thing. Me and Ryan talked about this. I feel like we've done a really good job about peacefully coexisting. I know for a little bit in the beginning, I feel like there was a little stack here and there amongst a few camps, but then people just,
dude, when you're doing well, you don't get into all that because you're just
man. And I feel like I think people thought like, oh, well, because at the beginning the membership wasn't high, you know, it wasn't as popular, but as the popularity grew, people started coming out of woodworks wanting coaching from here, there, everywhere. Like, now so many people can eat off of this. You know what I mean? It's great. You know what I mean? And, you know, people are about that, not necessarily instant gratification, but they're about that quality. So if you're bringing a quality game to the forefront, you're going to get people. It's not a question. You know what I mean? And it's weird because, I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I don't even advertise, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, people come.
The extent of my advertising is a hashtag.
And the thing is, like, and the hashtag is like, that shit is booming, bro. Like, you got like hella, it's like 15, 20,000. But like, it's the truth. Like, it's one of those things where your work and your camp speaks for you. And
if you do well, it'll run itself.
Exactly. And like me, I'm so it's just weird because like I literally am treating my people like I treat like the OGs treated me. Like, you got to train and train and train, and you got to be ready to put out a quality product before we put you out on the streets. You know what I mean? And like, it's crazy because all my people are in the training mode right now, and everyone's about to hit the platform. And bro, I'm not necessarily, I don't get nervous, but bro, I've never been so like just nervous about, like, because I just got a gang of people that are all about to hit the platform at once. And it's like,
I remember that back in the day. I don't really get the way it's amazing that you're going through that because it's a great feeling, and you realize like you care more about how they are gonna do than how you do.
Yeah, because I can control me, but I cannot control what I gotta be there, gotta make sure I'm on my P's and Q's, have all the, you know, like, it's just crazy because they're all, I don't know how it worked that way. I mean, I've had a few trickle here and there to meets, and they've done well, but I've never had such a mass amount of people about to go. I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm just gonna
you're gonna get the dubs, and you're gonna build on it.
Get the dubs, man. Like, you know, like, I've been putting up making a meat shirt for literally 2 years. I'm like, man, I'm not ready.
It's cool,
bro. I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for a meat shirt. I'm not ready. I'm not quite there yet, man. But
hey.
then I see everybody with the meat shirts. I'm like, all right, you know what? We got to do. Like, just do it. It's just, you know, it's that time. I feel like I don't want to lift forever. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make my impact as far as the lifter goes, and then I want to move on and let somebody else do.
I don't think you're done yet, man. I don't think
I'm done yet either. But I know that rather than letting the other side of powerlifting catch me by surprise, I want to be prepared for it. I want to have, you know what I mean? I want to be able to Mike T it. Mike T is still at the top of his game. You know what I'm saying? And Mike T could come in right now and go top 3, top 4 easily.
I want him to come back. I want
him to come back so bad.
I do. You know I mean, now's the time. Dennis is out the picture. Haifan's not lifting right now.
But the thing is, but I feel like Mike T, when Mike T's ready to come back, Mike T's gonna come back ready to compete on the level that he's used to competing on. Because he's been hurt for a little bit. So when you deal with the injuries and stuff like he had to deal with, it's hard to compete against Haifan and Dennis and all those guys. It's hard because you're hurt. So I feel like when he gets healed up and he gets back to the Mike T that I remember, that we remember, because he's still a young buck, it's gonna be a problem. And I'm gonna be right there, yeah, I told y'all, eat my Skittles, I told y'all. So
I knew the way I knew of him was from his 850 pull.
Yeah.
Who pulls 850? What the fuck?
I mean, I just feel like he's going to do. I think Mike T, if and then when he's ready to come back, he'll be ready. So I'm just kind of like, you know what, Mike, you do your thing, but I feel like we honestly, aside from Bryce, you know what I mean? There really isn't in yourself. There's really no other, high level competing combo that's out there. You know what I mean? And I want to be, if it ever were to happen, I want to be on that type level. You know what I mean? Where I'm established as a coach, but I also can still I can still get in on the platform
with the youngins.
You know what I mean? So I said, I got a few in training. I'm like, you might be the next one. You know what I mean? But I still want to be able to have that access. Word, who you got? Oh man, I got Russ. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I'm handling Russ. I mean, I guess I handle Jesse. I mean, shit. I guess I got John Hack. Bro, that's crazy. Your rap sheet is ridiculous.
We have some young
bro.
They
don't call me the Kingmaker, bro. That's the part that cracks me up. I'm like, hold up. And I couldn't even beef with you on that. I was just like, wait, they calling this nigga the Kingmaker?
Dude, I didn't make that name up when he said it. I was like,
this is the thing. I'm not saying that you did. I just started laughing. I'm like, hold up.
I think honestly,
he's already gonna acquire these young kings. You know what I'm saying? Coach them to their little world championship, but then they call him the Kingmaker. I'm like, bro, he got some clout right now. They showing Joe love. Yeah, and cool. I can't even be mad at it. I'm like, you know what, man? That's what's up. That's when you know that you're making an impact. You know what I'm saying? Because
I try, man.
They can go to anybody. My thing is they can go to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But they go to you. So they must see something in you. You must bring something to the table that somebody else doesn't.
I like to tell people there's a reason why the Flexx has 2 X's. It's because we got that extra X factor. You know what I mean?
Get your ass. I can't stand. But I mean, it is. You know what I mean?
We got that extra X, man. But dude, we have some young ones coming up. We had that last nationals. I had a 93 guy who had to scrap it out to get 4th. I told him his name's Jonathan. I said, Jonathan, you lost.
Jonathan's gonna be baller, dude.
I said, Jonathan, I told him you got knocked down by the BBC trio. You shouldn't even be mad. It was LS, Ashton, and Dave Rakes. If we take it out of them, I'm fine. I'm fucking fine with that. I'm not even mad. That little G,
he's going to be.
Coming up.
I'm telling you, man.
He's working.
I can't get caught slipping. I told him, I was like, bro, I can't get caught slipping.
He loves you,
mess around and nab that bench from you, boy.
He loves you, dude. He's like, oh my God, LS is right here. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. I was like, bro, I gotta watch myself. The thing is, people that's what I'm saying. That's a youngin that's coming up. That's the next. I feel like if he gets it right, that's the next bench 3-lift combo lifter. Yeah, bro. And I'm not even trying to say that because I'm feeling myself. I got one guy. He might have that. You know what I'm saying? But he's a youngin. He's still working. But Jonathan, no. He's already there. He just don't know it yet. You know what I mean? So like,
he has big goals, man. I think we gotta keep him healthy. Gotta keep it going. And,
that's it, man. And there's some youngins out there, man. Like, you know, people are like, oh man, you've been doing, like, bro, you don't understand.
Real quick. Alrighty, guys. Well, quick bathroom break. We're back. I wanted to ask you, LS. I got a little list of things here. So far, it's been great. Thank you for everything. It really means a lot, man, to have you here. So you're competing at the Arnold.
Yeah.
And what day are you competing? Do you know?
Saturday. That's all I know.
Nice. So competing on Saturday. And for you, is this just going to be like a let's go in and mess around? Is that how the Arnold kind of always is? It's always like a, or are you trying to go after it? Are you trying to get that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can't necessarily go for world records anymore. Not for the Pro American. You can only do that for the Grand Prix. She asked me, they sent me an invitation to do the Grand Prix a couple weeks ago, but I'm just gonna stay and do the Pro American
because you would be separate. You'd be out in the room, and
yeah, I mean,
you won't be with us. You won't be with us.
Yeah, man. And the thing was, man, like I had already. Listen, bro, this is crazy because I get down with the big boys, man. So like, you know, I had a chat with Ray and with Kelly. They both like, well, there's no way we're gonna be squatting 900 plus pounds, you know, 900 plus pounds, 1,000 pounds at 9 in the morning. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's like, yeah, hey man, but you gotta think about yourself. Like, you'll be squatting around 700 pounds. How you gonna squat around 700 pounds at 9 in the morning? I'm like, yeah, you probably right.
That's rough, man. It's a good call, and also just the bathroom is right next to where we're at, and it's so organized,
and it's more, dude, so fun, man. Like,
oh yeah, dude, have everybody in there. I feel like, dude, it's gonna be
like that's our little section. I would say this.
It'll be like Primetime 2.0.
Yeah, like I feel like if they were to put us in the main hall, not the main stage is dope. That little main stage on the side is dope. But if you're gonna put us on the main stage, and like in the afternoon, we would pack that just like any. I feel like we would pack that thing easily. Like the USAPL, like I mean, we're knocking on 20,000 members, bro. Like USA weightlifting is at 26. Like, come on, let's be real. Like, we'll pack that thing. But I mean, you got to take what you can get. And I understand, like they're trying to make it a premier event. But the thing is, like, I mean, from what I understand, like no one wants to lift it that early in the morning. To, you know, like it just I don't function that early.
I think
unless it's a world in it.
Yeah, I think they do it because oh yeah, for an exhibition lift. You want to lift later. It's like, it's a fun thing, you know? It's a change.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun, man.
If you're going to slip out the pocket a little bit, this is the meet to do it. Because if you want to kind of push it that little extra, I mean, you don't really lose anything. At Nationals, you need to be on point. You got to, you know, you're playing for placings and shit, but I feel you, man.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna win the cheese. Hell, I mean, I got to go against Ray and Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was telling Russ, like, dude, honestly, like, you know, Wilkes favors big boys, and Ray's gonna fuck us up.
Well, the thing is, no, but Russ is Russ doing a Grand Prix or is he's doing a Pro?
Pro.
Russell, he'll get to the bag because he's not a light heavy. He's a lightweight.
Do they do it by light heavy? I'm not. Yeah, there's more like I don't even know how they do it. It's a separate category. Like he'll be the heaviest of his category. I hope they do it that way because that'd be cool.
No, that's how they always do it.
But I don't think he said, you know, he said he didn't even care about the money. He just wanted to be where greatness was going to happen.
Bro, he'll have fun.
You know what I mean?
Because I had a blast. Like,
with the big.
Isn't Sean doing it too?
Sean was supposed to live Saturday, but he wants to help Daniela, so he's going to go Friday.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah, man, like, I'm excited, man. I just want to.
We see everybody. We're going to fucking live. Like, it's gonna be cool,
you know what I mean? Everyone's chill and done by Saturday night. We can just chill out.
Dude, my birthday's on Sunday, so we'll be out.
Jesus.
It'll be
extra
good.
litty.
I mean,
yeah, man, it'll be a good time, man. I'm excited for it. This is, I was telling the fellas, like, this is the first time I've gone to the Arnold like excited. The Arnold alone, lifting at the Arnold, that's gonna be cool. But everything surrounding the Arnold, I'm stoked about. Like, I'm gonna go there, hopefully do my job, have a good time. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get out of pocket too much. Like, I might try to push the total a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna take what's there.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's
like you know,
you can never
the lady
say
she's
that
talking
enough,
about.
man.
The lady's talking about, hey, let's go ahead and try to knock this 1900 plus out. I'm like, chill out. Let's just lift.
For those of you that don't know, Ellis's girl, I think, has been running his numbers for
going on 3 years now,
which is crazy because she doesn't even she didn't bust out the clipboard.
But the thing is, here's the crazy thing. She is a master of probability, a master of ratios, and she literally can spot. She just, it's weird, man. I mean, we both have degrees in physics. She uses hers a little bit more than I. She's a math and science teacher, but dude, she's a whiz with numbers. Like she's crazy with numbers. And so I'm like, all right, cool. I don't even know all the rules. She knows all the rules. Like, I just go and lift. She does all the thinking for me. Like,
that's honestly what you want. You want someone to deal with all that, and then you need the athlete. You need the
man. She does her thing.
Coach, together you win Super Bowls. But
exactly. She does her thing, dude. So like, yeah, she'll go and crunch her numbers, and pretty much like I'll have almost the same team I had at Nationals, minus Brad, but I might have just because I like how he calls bench. I might have TD, right? Big TD. Thomas Davis.
Is he a big bencher?
Yes.
The big dude.
He's probably gonna bench around 7 at the Arnold.
Oh, he's the guy that wins every time.
Yeah. Well, his
he's the biggest
coach
man
Dan.
There. He's the biggest man there.
His coach Dan is I may be getting him to call my bench numbers just because I like how he calls bench. Like he's really a bench guru, man. So like I might get him to call my bench, but I mean it's pretty much gonna be the same team. It's gonna be, Steph, it's gonna be Ryan Doris, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll all be back there. I'm planning on if they do it the same as last year, I have a bunch of guys coming out to help load. So I mean, the pit crew. Bang, bang, bang.
Perfect.
What you need. So
that's perfect. That'll be perfect.
Yeah, man. We'll have.
Yeah, man. So it should be fun. It should be really fun.
It's gonna be good. I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead.
What's going on with Worlds? Like, did you get a alternate? Is Ashton going? Have you heard anything?
From what I understand, he's unable to go because of his military scheduling and obligations. Which is, I mean, obviously that precedes, and trumps anything. Yeah, man. Like the fact that kid he's able to perform at such a high level, and serve the military. I mean, serve our country is
he'll run
man.
in the desert with a backpack for miles and then go.
He'll do like a 5 to 10 mile ruck and then rest for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then go squat 600 plus for multiple reps, which is ridiculous, man. Like, and I think to myself like, dude, if I wish I were 20 again, bro, because like you know what I'm saying? Because when you're that young, bro, like he literally. Your recovery is like Wolverine, dude. Like you just recover. You know what I mean? But he goes. I mean, because when I played football and ran track, so I mean, I literally ran all day, chilled for like an hour, and then I had to go to football practice.
Dude, a football practice. You do weights, and then you got to go practice. Yeah. Now that shit would fuck me up.
Yeah, dude. You tell me I have to go run and do drills and stuff for 2.5, 3 hours, and then get up and then chill for 45 minutes and go to track practice and then run at the highest level possible, bro, I would die. I would snap a hamstring. So yeah, like the fact he's able to do that and maintain his strength and not lose so much weight, it's awesome. I love, like, honestly, like he literally is one of my favorite people to watch because I know behind the scenes what he has to go through.
If he can get depth on that third squat, he'll put up a big total, man.
He'll put up a stupid total. But then I think he's, from what I understand, he might end up doing the U.S. Open, which will be awesome. I mean, that'll be great.
That would be cool if he does it. I mean, they would put him out from IPSF for a year, but he can't. He never goes to it anyway, so why not? Like, he can't go to Worlds anyway, so it's like, why not? But so what's going on with you in Worlds? Are you
I'm going. I'm there.
Are you competing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck? So you're competing? Yeah, okay. So
they sent me.
So they said. Okay.
Because I'm an old head. I I got the invitation for the Masters team immediately, and then
you're in the pocket. You're good now, man. You're going
and so
every year.
I had the invitation for the Masters team already, and then like literally, Paulie sent me that one, and then like 18 hours later, then Susie sends me the Open invitation. So I had to choose from the two. So I went ahead and chose the Open.
Because that list that they put out, it had Ashton's name, but Sean kept telling me, "Oh, he's not doing it. He's not doing it." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, this list is clearly wrong, then."
Yeah, the list just changed. Like
nice.
I don't know if it's changed, but yeah, like we have a group. We have like actual a group that we made. Bryce Lewis actually made that we all talk to each other. The whole team talks to each other, and then like Ashton told us, it's just the way the schedule is. He just won't be able to. I don't think he's allowed to do it, just from the military's perspective, which sucks. I was honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was pissed for the kid because I want him
to do it one time. But I mean, I know you're gonna go over there and get the dub. You know what I mean? Just throw up a quick five.
We're gonna work. We're gonna work for it. You know
I'll be there, man. I will be there. With the squad will be there. I have 4 people.
This will be the one. I was telling my moms. I was like, my parents, they hate traveling like to like Eastern Europe and stuff. I was like, all right, this might be the one. This might be the one y'all want to squad up on, because like this might be the one we just act up, just cause we can.
It'll be good.
But
man. I'm not
excited. Saying that they're good. I'm not gonna say they're gonna give it to me. You know what I mean? But then it's not like, you know, I don't. It was funny because like this dude put they were I think Six Pack. He put the thing up for King of Lifts and like, you know what, the U.S. squad is still stacked, blah, blah, blah. No Ashton Rushka, but they're still stacked. They still got LS, blah, blah, blah. And then some guy's like, who's LS? and I just kind of laughed because, like,
dude, his audience is not really USAPL, though. He does a lot of, like, USPA stuff, so it's like,
yeah, like,
I just understand why they did.
Yeah, I was laughing. This guy's like, well, who's LS? And then, but I felt so bad for that dude because people ate that cat alive. Like, he's just the reigning IPF champion. Like, people ate that little boy alive. I'm like, man, let this dude live. I mean, and that's where my impact in the sport is.
Wait a minute. Last year, you and Dave Ricks both competed at 93 for the Open, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember now, then you put him up on the platform and you gave him the cave. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Like, it's just fun, but that's just the name of the game. Like, he paved
the way for us, for the youngins,
bro. He really did. I mean, and he continues to do so. And that's my thing. While I mean, I love Ashton to death, but I'm saying right now, if Dave Ricks ever hits that depth on them squats, it's a wrap for everybody.
Man, I wonder. He'll never say it, but I'm pretty sure he might be battling something, like some sort of a hip thing. It looks painful when he squats, man.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, if you go through, again, I'm being the Dave Ricks fan that I am. If you go through all his squats, all through history, he's always squatted like with that grimace, like
this hurts so bad,
like this hurts. But then until I got to that point where I was squatting 685 plus, I didn't know how bad that. Again, it doesn't necessarily. It's a different type of pain. 700 plus is a different type of pain when you're only 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people don't understand. Like, dude, when you're squatting, well over 3 times your body weight, it's a completely.
It's gonna wear on you. It's gonna wear on you.
It's a different type of feel. Like, when I, the first time I put 700 on my back, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I was just doing walkouts, and I'll be honest with you, man to man. I guess man to man, the podcast now. Man to man, I never in a million years thought I would ever actually squat 700 plus. So I was just doing it for walkouts for CNS.
You're wearing the stylish 2 different kinds of Nikes.
Oh no! Back in that day, bro, I was wearing some checkered. I was wearing Chucks, and I would wear checkered Vans. That's what I had. Some slip-ons. Son, I was doing walkouts with 700 pounds with slip-ons. Just stupid. So yeah, I never thought I would actually ever squat 700 pounds. And so when I actually, got the balls to actually bend my knees and actually take that bad boy downstairs and stand up with it, it was a completely different pain that I'd never felt that before. And let me tell you, I've hit 675 so many times, 680 so many times, but just that 700.
It's a different physics on the bar on your back.
It really is.
Like,
your leverages.
Oh,
you know what I'm
shit,
saying?
this is heavy. Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different. So I was like, okay, now I see, like when I saw Dave squatting 677 and 650 and 660, I can see why it looks so painful, because it just hurts. Well, then it also gave me more respect for like Jesse when he goes and squats and it just looks like, oh, his face is just red. That's it. Are you serious?
Jesse
like,
is a fucking
bro. The anomaly. This is the part that makes me so mad. And the thing is, I champion everyone. I get mad on his behalf because I feel like, wait a minute, you fools were crowning him the next Ed Cohen. They were crowning him the GOAT years ago, and my man is just, you know what I'm saying, he's taking his time, he's letting his body heal, he's doing his thing, you know what I mean? He's taking it, he's doing it smart, you know what I'm saying? And he's letting his body mend, and they literally forget about this dude like Jesse ain't total 2,050 at like 196 pounds. Like, they forget, like, this dude, no disrespect to Ben, no disrespect to Larry Wheels, no disrespect to these cats that are moving this ridiculous weight, but hey, Jesse's the OG. He was the OG as a team. Know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like,
he's
like, they forget. I didn't forget. I
have always said that Jesse is the greatest lifter of my generation, of our generation, and I think Ashton is a threat for sure.
Yeah.
I think if Ashton could get that bench a little bit more up,
yeah,
he could it could be right
but
there.
I mean, but then it's historically, that's just how it is though. Like, you can have dudes with huge pulls, they can have huge squats, but a lot of times that bench just doesn't really translate over. And the thing
but he's swole. Like, Ashton's buff. He's
buff.
Gotta work.
It's just the bench is the beast that picks you. You don't pick it. I didn't choose the bench life. I didn't choose this. It's the truth.
I feel you, man.
You can work as hard as you gotta think. You can work as hard as you can on bench, and you might get 5 pounds out of it. You work as hard as you can.
Some people need to accept the fact that they might be at the point of their career where 5 pounds of meat is what they need to go for.
Yeah,
and a lot of people, they try to get out the pocket and they go for the 10, they go for the 15, and then they get humble. Then
you better take that 2.5 kg and run with it. Like, my thing is like, with bench is one of those things, it chooses you when it's ready. And the thing is, like, you could be the swollest guy and just not have the bench. It is what it is. Well, like, I mean, because if you base it off of Jesse's numbers, Jesse should be benching damn near 600 pounds. You know what I'm talking about?
440 is good though for a 93.
Yeah, 440 is very, very good for one. 440 is good for anyone over, you know what I'm saying, under 205 pounds. But like I'm saying, like, he's a freak.
I mean, if you look at the dude's chest, you're like, how do you not bench 500?
Yeah,
he's like,
but that's the thing. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, that really lets you know how much of a damn boss Ed Cohen was.
Yeah, because he had everything. He had everything.
And, you know what I'm saying?
And Ed was
like, Ed is the GOAT.
His hand is literally like, if this is my hand, his fingers go up to here.
Yeah, like,
this motherfucker can hold the bar and it's not gonna fucking fall out of his hand.
It's not going anywhere. So I'm like, dude, it's just, man, and when I see that dude, like, I literally have to rethink everything I'm gonna say before I say it to him every time, because I was like, otherwise I'm like, Ed, hey, I don't know what to say half the time.
I don't know what to say. It's just, dude, like, he was he just, like, there's nothing to be said. He knows. I feel like he knows that we respect him.
He knows what we want to say that we just can't say it. He's like, I mean, because I'm sure he's heard it all.
He sees himself as like a regular dude.
Yeah, the coolest thing that I can definitely say, man, that I love Dave Ricks to death. I love Anthony Harris to death, and those will always be my favorites of all time. But the coolest thing that happened to me, man, when it was all said and done after I won that IPF championship was, I mean, it was real. And, I tell people I didn't feel like it was real until, like, Big Z came to me after I won. He's like, "Congratulations, champion." I'm like, "Oh my god." Fruta Savickas just said, "Congratulations, champion." That's when I realized that I won. But I'm
what was he doing there? What was he doing there?
He was with SBD. He's an SBD athlete. So he's walking around, you know, taking pictures and everything, and just doing what Big Z does. He's a politician on the low. So like it's kind of cool him being around. Well, you know, I'm in the car and I'm on the way to the airport, and the first message that I get is from Ed Cohen saying, "Congratulations." Dude, when I tell you I lost, dude, I don't know if I was gonna cry, if I was gonna throw up, if I was gonna pass out, but that meant everything to me, man. So like I just, you know,
I can relate.
Again,
I can relate, man.
No diss to Jesse, no diss to Ashton, no diss to Dave, no diss to anyone that's ever done it. But bro, like for him to even, you know, show me love, I was like, whoa, that was crazy. And seeing this how like the whole deal with the IPF and all that stuff, how it all popped off, like the fact that you even know that what's going on in IPF, that you even care enough to even reach out. I thought that was huge of him. So yeah, man, like I just feel like Ed's a GOAT for a reason. But then, you know, kind of going back to what we were saying, like it's, you know, we've talked about it before, and I've actually talked about it with a couple like Olympic coaches that, you know, I mean, it's crazy how like they know powerlifting just as well, if not better than we do, in terms of just how the body performance goes. And one of the coolest things that they pointed out was like, well, a guy he knew of Jesse very well, and he's like, well, the thing that you'll notice in terms of powerlifting, the patterns that you see with powerlifting is you'll get these guys that'll come in, and he goes, we can use Jesse for example. You get these guys that come in that are amazingly strong, and they're so far ahead of their time, and they seem so much stronger than everyone else, and either be it injury or whatever it is, it'll slow them down, but they don't necessarily lose strength. It just gives everyone else a chance to kind of catch up, but no one ever really catches up. He's like, but it's not that they're any stronger. Goes, if you actually really want to pay attention to the pattern of powerlifting as a whole, the earlier guys, David Ricks and those guys, when they were younger, before obviously they became the OGs, they were actually stronger than we are now. It's just they didn't have raw then. He's like, so while you might think that these guys are so much stronger than everybody, it's not that they're that much stronger, because honestly, the only anomaly to all that would be Ed Cohen, because he's otherworldly strong. But for the most part, it's just a pattern. You have a lot of strong guys that'll come in, but they're not just like head and shoulders stronger than everybody. They're just stronger faster than everyone else. Which, I feel you, man. That was crazy. It took me a minute to kind of wrap my brain around it. And it's just like, but it seems like every 5-10 years, a new person will be that person. You know what I'm saying? And, then you just kind of have to deal with it. But like, Jesse did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's not like he's done. You know what I mean? But then, 5-10 years later, Ashton comes in the game. You know what I mean? Like, but then if you look, I mean, because while the spotlight's on Ashton, and while the spotlight may be on Jesse, you still have these other cats. You know what I mean? Like, there's some cats, man, that repping 620, 630, 640, 650. Like, they're repping this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking on myself. I'm literally speaking on there's like 5 or 6 other guys. You know what I'm saying? And in your boy, he's repping mid to mid high fours and bench, like, so then it kind of starts equaling out. You know what I mean? Like, while your numbers might be impressive on this and this, that's cool if you're doing a squat only, or if you're doing a deadlift only.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if when it comes down to like just balancing out, like, well, if we do a push pull, all things will be equal again. And with the beauty of this game that we're in, this powerlifting game, you have to have a total to win.
It's three unique disciplines, and I think that
man, you have to be an artist, man. You have to. So yeah, man. So it's, I mean, I think that's part of the reason we love this sport as much as we do, because I mean, you might think somebody has it they're the clear favorite, they're the clear runaway, but then it's not like it doesn't. I'll let Ashton tell you one day, man. But like, yeah, before we even lifted, man, I said a few choice words to Ashton before we even stepped on that platform during weigh-in, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Like, David Ricks had his. I feel like David Ricks recognized something in me, just like I recognize something in Ashton. And it's not necessarily the strength that of Ashton's that I appreciate. His work ethic. I appreciate the work ethic because I used to do that. Not necessarily in the military aspect, but I used to spend hours and hours doing a completely different discipline, and then switching gears and going to a different discipline, and then still try to like be at the top of my game. So I recognize that work and I recognize that commitment, bro. And so many people his age don't have that. So, I just feel like, I feel like he can be a great. I feel like he can be one of the best. But at the same time, I also feel like there's a lot of other dudes out there that work just as hard that are on the come up. They just don't have a spotlight right now. And that's the name of our game right now. Is who has the spotlight, who has momentum.
And you can't slow down because you never know who's gonna lap you. That's why I tell people, I tell my guys this, the ones that are they wanna be the best that they can be when nationals time. The whole year is when you can gain ground on guys that you might have been. Let's say somebody's a little bit ahead of you. Well, if you're training the whole year and they're only training 6 months out of the year, to get better, it's like it's gonna show up.
It shows up, man. You know what I mean? And then you got to be a gamer when it comes to time. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm right there with you, dude. Like I committed a year of my life just because, bro, like for a minute there, my squat was only like 60 to 80 pounds in front of on top of my bench. I'm like, yo, we got to fix this. So we grinded on that. I spent a year, bro. I committed a year of my life to just get my squat right. And once that was done, because I'm committing 6 months of my life just to get my grip right on my deadlift. Now after that's over with, now I'm in a process of spending a full year of my life committing my time, my efforts to getting my deadlift right. And and then once that's done, then we're gonna go,
man.
Yeah, bro. And then once that deadlift is where it needs to be, then we're gonna go to bench. It's the thing. I mean, and I feel bad saying it. I mean, because I've been blessed with bench. I work on bench to an extent, but I don't. It's not my specialty right now. It's not what my goal. My goal is not to. My goal is always to keep my bench going stronger and make my gains, but it's not. I don't have it. I've never had it my highlight. It's never been like, oh shit, it's bench time. I've never committed time to it. It's just a part of the what I'm saying? Like, I know I have other parts of my total that I really need to work on, and bench is not one of them. I love bench, but I'm actually absolutely in love with squat. I love squat.
Squats are
what I'm
good,
saying?
Man.
And I'm starting to get to where
holding that weight on your back and just dominating it, it's a good feeling.
Like, don't get me wrong, while I feel like deadlift is while deadlift is it's a strong thing, man. It's badass. It really is. I'm sorry, bro. I feel like the squat is actually the king of the lifts, dude. I feel like, bro.
I agree, man.
I feel like at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter who you are. You put that weight on your back and you sit down, you can stand up with it. That's something. That's something. You know what I mean? It's something. You know what I mean? Like, you can don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cats out there that can pull. But then that line is, in terms of who's got that strength, starts really separating when you start putting that bar on the back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
man. Well, I agree with you. 100%.
But like I said, it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I left out. So last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Go get them deadlifts in. But did you hear about the USPA offering to pay for people to compete at their worlds? Have you heard of that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so basically USPA.
It's IPL or whatever.
Yeah, it's IPL, and I think they're gonna do it in Moscow. But basically, what I'll just kind of summarize it. Do you think that, because right now we have the IPF, and that's kind of like the really only thing, And to me, in my opinion, if you become an IPF world champion, that is the most legitimate way of proving that you are the best. You know, in a drug-free setting, because I know, like, because they do test very like rigorously. I mean, I don't know how many times they got you already, but they fucking
I've been tested like 6 times.
In Texas, they get I know in Texas they have a very heavy like, I don't know, they just test like all my Texas dudes are like, bro, Joey, I've been tested all the time. So
we stay tested.
So, do you think that one, would you like to see the USAPL offer some sort of financial compensation for their top lifters? And two, do you think that other federations, you know, starting to do like payouts and things like that, can potentially spark any kind of assistance for the world team? Because the way I see it, it's like, I find it hard that the federation cannot allocate funds for the world team, because I got 17-year-old, you know, Andre Ramos saying, Joey, like, I'm going to Worlds, but I got to scrape together my pennies, you know what I mean, to make this happen. And to me, it's just like, they got to do a fundraiser or something, you know. So I try to do things here and there on my end to, you know, I'm thinking about doing a T-shirt thing to kind of help them. But you know, it is a lot to go to Worlds. You know, that 375 that they just added on there, that is not a cheap thing.
Man.
So,
well,
I guess what I'm saying is, do you want to see them helping the U.S. team more? I mean, this is how I view it, and you know, I mean, I respect, you know, I respect the people in the USAPL immensely. You know what I mean? Dude, I have so much love for those people, because I'm not. To do what they do is an accomplishment, and it's
I clearly wouldn't be in the position that I'm in currently had it not been for all of them, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I do believe that you can. People don't come to meets, and they don't pay to go to these meets. They don't pay to go to the Arnold. They don't pay to go to nationals. They don't pay to do all this stuff just to say that they win. They pay to go see Ray Williams lift. They pay to see Blaine Sumner move some ungodly amount of weight. They pay to see David Rick squat. They pay to see Dennis Thierry bench. They pay to see Jen Thompson move this weight. They pay to see these athletes, right? So while you have a membership that's approaching, you know,
almost
that's
20K.
approaching 20, it's approaching 20K at this point, and you're, you know, bare minimum, be it a coach or an athlete, you're paying at least, we'll say low average of $45-50 per membership. So you're making a pretty good chunk. You have, you know, nationals that, you know, that as far as I know is the biggest Raw nationals in existence.
Yeah.
You know, year after year after year. So again, money's being made there. There is the potential. We'll just say right now that they don't have the money to do it. All right, we'll say that there's no money.
Yeah,
to do
I know
it,
that
okay?
they use the money for drug testing, and they're really
they
strict
use it.
on
But
it.
here's the thing: you use it for drug testing to an extent, but then at the same time, when we make the world team, we pay that fee in order to pay for our drug testing. So there's that. So that cost is offset. So we're not even dealing. We'll just say right now that USAPL does not have the money. The IPF does not have the money to pay for its athletes to come to this world championship. Okay, fine. If that's the case, then we have a lot of able-bodied and willing people that run very good businesses, that run very successful businesses, that come from very successful business backgrounds, that can figure out some way, some form or fashion, maybe not only to do a fundraiser, but even to get some type of subsidized discount, something to just alleviate it, man. Like, you know, this is year 5 going on year 6, I should say, for me, and I've been on a world team every year that I've ever done, and I've had to pay out of pocket for every single one of them. Now, granted, you know what I mean, while it's an honor in itself to be a part of it, it's hard to wrap my brain around. I've spent you know, well over,
like 3 Gs at least.
I've spent well over 3/4 of my year committed to one moment that hopefully gets me to the point where I can represent my country. Awesome. Now that part's accomplished, now I got to fork over money to go represent my country. Not only that, but I have to pay my country to go represent my country, then pay again to go represent my country.
I get you, man.
And then you look over at different nations, the different nations with different lifters respectively, and either they get some type of stipend or whatever it is, but they get some type of assistance. Now, with all the people that we have, I mean, it wouldn't even hurt for them. Like, hey, we're going to take a donation for the Raw team. If you guys want to, we're going to take donation for these world teams. We have X amount of world. We have so many different world teams. That's one thing. But then at the same time, even with all these world teams, how is it not possible for just to even make an attempt to help these people? And that's the thing. Like, I don't even know if there's an attempt.
So going back to a brief point that I made earlier, we don't have all the details. We don't know all the facts. Yeah. We're just simply speculating from the outside in. And
this is the outside looking in, because I don't know what the legend.
I know that they do things to make sure that we are good with the IPF, and that's why I guess they had to impose, these fees to make sure.
Yeah.
That nobody else
we had a lot of people get popped, and a lot of people fail to, and that's on them. But then, I mean, it ends up being on us as a result. But then, for those that that never have been popped, or or that do test clean every single time, like it's almost an inconvenience. But at the same time,
it's a tough thing.
It's super tough, because I mean,
it's like you bust your ass to win the national, then you got to pay to represent Worlds. In my opinion, if you have a way to, if you're good on money, and then it's obviously like ultimate honor to go to Worlds and compete. But I don't think anyone, and I'm not sure if anyone has given up a world spot because of money, but
I've known a couple lifters that's like, I can't afford to go because of the money. It's because once you get that invitation, you have a few days to to do the research and decide, and you look up a plane ticket that
$1,000 to go to.
It's gonna be $3,000, $2.5 grand to go, bare minimum, and then you have to pay for your lodging and all that stuff. Like, so you end up having to fork over anywhere from $3 grand to $4 or $5 grand just to go to get a medal. That's if you even medal. So it's hard to wrap one's mind around having to pay that kind of money, and if you're a super talented person, like say Banika, and she's gonna be on at least 2 a year. That's almost 10 grand that you're having to fork out every year to go represent your country. Now, while USAPL and a lot of these are nonprofit, it's just hard for me to wrap my mind around. Like, you can't come off. I'm not saying you got to come off.
Look. I would pay
per athlete.
I would pay another 20, 30, 40 for my membership if it could help. If it would make a big difference like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like if they
just said we're gonna up the membership $20, $30, whatever, and every member of the world team is gonna have all their shit covered, I'm there. This is what I propose. Could probably be less than that, and they could.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, this is what I would propose, rather than just doing that. So people, because again, the problem that lies there is like, well, is it just going to a general world team fund? I don't know about that. So you could either, I would do it like this. I would say, you could go to the USAPL site. I mean, they could send an email out to everybody, like, hey guys, we're gonna post the current world team members' names, and almost like on the whole idea of the GoFundMe thing, like each one of these people have, we're trying to raise, I don't know, let's say we're trying to raise $1,000 for each one of these members, right? Okay, so rather than just making it a general fund, you're like, all right, well, these are guys that this is what we have. We have Ray Williams, we have whatever. We have all these people's names, like, these, 12 to 18 people's names up. This is the Raw World Team right now. Cool. So we're trying to raise, let's say we try to raise $500 for each one of these members. Cool. Pick a member, donate to them. Awesome. Once that member's once they're full, boom, they're off the list. These are the people we have left. And just try to knock them off each one. And the thing is, it doesn't matter who you're donating to. You know that you're donating to one of these people. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, whatever it is, like, you know, like we're trying to at least get their flights paid for. And you just, you know, you can knock out. Because honestly, a lot of times, if you put a face with the name, it's a lot different.
Yeah, people feel for them, you know?
You know what I mean? Like, this is who this person is. This is what they do, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, you can request up to, like, say $1,000. You can request up to $1,000. And after that, I mean, if people want to donate, awesome. If not, cool. But the thing is, at least an effort's made for people to see, like, hey, these people, they need help. And the thing is, you have almost 20,000 members. You'd be amazed what people would like. You know what? I'll put 20 on. I'll put 20 on. I'll put 20 on. Like, you never know. Then again, a business might see, like, hey, look, I'll pick up these 6 people right here. You never know. I mean, you can write it off your taxes to be 100.
I think.
So, like,
yeah, man. I think it is an active and constant discussion in the community, and I would love to see steps towards, you know, helping the athletes somehow. And I don't know if there is a definitive solution. Like, I don't know the solution. I'm just, you know, I wanted to know your thoughts.
Yeah.
and you know, if you know,
or you know, or I just, you know,
because you're someone who actively competes in worlds, so you know, like, you're the way you actually go through it. So I feel like your opinion actually has a weight.
It sucks. Dude, there's been years I'm like, bro, man, I'm about to give up. I mean, last year was a dog. I was trying to get a dog. I wanted to get a Frenchie, bro. And I was like, well, it's either Frenchie or Belarus. Like, well, I guess the Frenchie has to take the L. You know what I mean? And thank God
you could get a dog. You could get a dog, man. Get one. Dogs are good.
Yo, dogs are dope, but I mean, you trying to get a Frenchie? That's 3 to 5 stacks.
Yeah, if you get a little baby one that you want to raise up. Yeah. That's 3 to 5 stacks. So you know what I mean. So I just was like, all right, well, I guess the Frenchie's gonna have to take the L so I can go get this dub. But I mean, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, man, you know, for me. Only speaking from my own personal experience, man, there's never been anything in my life that if I wanted it bad enough, I figured out a way to make it work. Yeah, that's
you just got to hustle. And it sucks.
I've never been one. I'm not saying, like, hey, feel bad for them, you know, give them money. I'm just saying, like, through the federation, I would like to see something, you know, that might help.
Just a little bit, yeah. I mean, just a little help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and you know, and that's what comes with the growth, man. I mean, you got a big federation, so you have a lot of talented people that are going to represent your federation that you're going to end up making a lot of that money just because people want to come to the Arnold. They want to come to Raw Nationals. They want to see this stuff. And honestly, low key, if, you know, you can make some cheddar just by, we're going to charge $4 to watch Raw Nats live stream. This money's going to go to the Raw, it's going to go to the team. Whatever the meat is, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, you could charge a couple of dollars, $2 or $3 to watch the live stream for the 3 or 4 days or $1 a day or whatever, and that money can go to the Raw World Team for that year. Like, you can make it.
I think they can make it happen, and I think if the USAPL can do that, then no other federation is going to be able to mess with them because they have that's like the main one last final thing that I think that they could solve, and then if they do that, boom,
man. And the thing is, like, I mean, because if at the end of the day, more talented. I mean, I hate to say it, but you're gonna lose talented people because people like.
Yeah, man.
People
like,
tired. I mean, you can't just keep.
Like, we shouldn't have like Dennis, Kim, Keith. Like, they shouldn't be looking elsewhere because they don't like the way it's going. They should be happy.
Yeah.
They should want to represent their country.
Yeah. And see, I didn't even know that Kim wasn't on it till, like, somebody says, I'm like, what? Kim's not on it?
Yeah. So that's weird. I don't know a Worlds without her there. Like, I just don't, in my mind, I just don't understand a Worlds where she's not there. But I mean, it is what it is. Somebody else will get to step up. But
yeah, man, I honestly, I'm not even, man, I honestly don't have the balls to even ask her why. I'm just like, you know what? All right, cool.
I mean, that'd be might be a touchy subject. But LS, I want to say thank you so much, man. It's been like almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. Really solid episode. I think people are really gonna like it. Do you have any, like, where could people find you? Do you have anything that you want to plug? Go ahead and.
Aside from, All my social media is just LS McClain. So
that'll be. I'll put that down below for you guys.
You know, if you want to just donate money to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my Venmo is LS McClain too, so I know that. but yeah, everything that all my social media, YouTube, you know, IG, all that, it's all just LS McClain, and then of course.
Now, do you have a podcast coming up or something?
Yeah, I got that cast coming up, man. Actually, a couple weeks. All right. Get it cracking in 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Get it cracking, man.
Hey, man, when it goes live, give me the link. I'll put it. I'll put it here.
I mean, we'll get you on there for sure. Yeah, I mean, so
there we go.
Yeah, I got the little podcast coming up. About to drop a few new things. Got a couple collabs coming out.
Nice.
I got a little A7 collab coming out. So we'll see how that works out.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. They came to me.
They're good. They're real good. They're real good.
They're good people, dude. Yeah. So yeah, man. And they do a lot for the culture as well, man. Between them and all the different businesses out there, I'm trying to get on that level.
I'll be like, damn, man. At Nationals, I was like, fuck, I don't have my slippers for deadlift. He's like, bro, here you go. Just take them. Just go out there. Go pull it. I was like, what? They're good. Yeah. They're good people, man.
They're good people. They do a lot for the culture.
Shout out to A7.
Jason, man.
Alrighty, so LS McClain, your reigning world champion, and hopefully we'll get another one in 2018.
Hold on, let's try to go back to back on these boys. But
back to back.
Now,
all right.
Right now we're trying to focus on the Arnold.
There we go. Have some fun at the Arnold, and it's time to get serious.
Is this drop? This is dropping before the Arnold, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you guys, y'all make sure come to the Arnold. Come find me. Come find Joe. Come chop it up.
Yep,
you know what I mean? Some gear. I might have some McClain and Circle gear on me at the time. I'm not sure. Maybe pulling a masterpiece selling out the back of my trunk. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, man, like I say, the most immediate thing that, you know, I mean, you're gonna find me and your boy Joe at is going to be at the Arnold, man. Like, come. It's going to be pretty litty. We're going to have a good time, man. And then hopefully shatter a few records and break a few hearts and have a bunch of laughs and eat a lot of good food. And
it'll be
maybe
good.
we'll eat with Arnold. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Thanks,
all
bro.
right, buddy. Hey, man. That was good.